28. And here comes Shimura Dove away. 28. In front of O'Shea. It's Taniela O'Shea for Nelson!
William Karlsson, he springs him in game 6, Vegas, off and running. William. And it's game 6 for William Karlsson, back of the line. Beautiful play.
Jason Gregor Show.
William Karlsson, he springs him in. Mitch Marner, who's in, and he stuffs it home. Mitchell Marner. It's a stretch pass from Wild Bill. William Karlsson put it right on the money in game 6, Vegas, off and running.
On Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
28. In front of O'Shea. It's Taniela O'Shea for Nelson! 2-0! Jaden Nelson with a goal!
Well, it's tremendous Tuesday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. As always, we appreciate you coming by, spend a little time with us on a rainy Tuesday. Not as rainy as yesterday. It has slowed down, depending on where you're at, anywhere from like 60 to 80 millimeters. So 6 to 6 to 8 centimeters. So it's a lot, right? Some places 3 inches. Nice. So got a lot of rain. Say that. So it's supposed to continue a little bit today and start to taper off tomorrow. And man, when that sun comes out next, it's going to feel good, real good. Man, first hour of the show, we got a great hour. Stuart Johnson, the commissioner of the CFL, will join us. Then we're going to hear from the new general manager of the Edmonton Oil Kings, Michael Chan. So Johnson, Chan, hour number 1. We got TR and McCarthy in hour number 2. Ken Bolke will join us, preview the Golden Knights and the Hurricanes. We get to some stats of the day. I got a few doozies for you coming up at 4 o'clock. We got Spec, DVD, Cam Tate as well. So lots to get to on the show today. You can always get involved. You can text us 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Something that we'll do for the next every Tuesday. We're going to call it Trade Tuesday on the show. We got a few trades. Yay or nay. They've been talked about. Think it's realistic? And feel free to submit a trade that you think is possible. I don't care. Any NHL team. Any NHL team that you think is there's a potential trade that makes sense. Not one that's one-sided. You got to put on, so you're wearing the GM hat of both sides where you'd make the trade. Sometimes somebody wins, sometimes somebody loses, sometimes it works out well for both teams. But ones that we can see that are like, okay, you know what, I could see that. Jason Robertson deal. It's going to happen. Got a few options. What about the Blues? They got a lot of guys. Edmonton Oilers. Some trade. Hey, obviously the number one name out there is Darnell Nurse for a lot of people. As I've said, I have no problem if you trade Darnell Nurse, but to just give him away to free up cap space makes 0 sense. 0. You just get rid of the guy who plays, 20 plus minutes a night for your team. Most of those 5-on-5. And you think you're just going to replace him with anybody? Come on. That's not how it works. So and then what are you going to do with the cap space? You're going to go overpay for guys? Because I think sometimes people are forgetting who's available on the free agent market this year. The list is not it's not plentiful. Okay, if we look at best defensemen available as RFAs right now, you'd say, okay, Rasmus Anderson. But guess what? All the stories are that he's already signed. They just haven't announced it yet in Vegas. So he's out. So that leaves Darren Radish, John Carlson, Jacob Trouba, Mario Ferraro, Ryan Shea, Brett Kulak, Connor Murphy. Like, there's some good defensemen. Jamie Alexiak, some bigger guys. Alexiak, Logan Stanley, who wasn't even playing in the playoffs for Buffalo. So, it's a third pair guy, realistically. There's Carson Soucy, Bradko Gudas. I don't think he has much left, to be honest. 35. Like, he looks like the legs were slowing down for him. Like John Carlson, good player. He's not coming. I don't think, if he doesn't stay in Anaheim, I don't think he's staying in the West. I think he'll probably go back east. When you play your whole career out east, and then you go to play in Anaheim for a few months, you're like, damn, this travel's a lot different than what I'm used to. It just is. If you start out in the West, you don't think it's a big deal because it's like anything. You get used to it, right? You grow up in Canada, you're like, no, I don't love minus 30, but it's not terrible. You try to move here, probably when you're 20 or 30 or 40, you're thinking, what the hell is this? How do you people function? And on the other end, you're like, man, I don't know how the people that are like 40 degrees, what? You're doing what in Arizona? You're living there in the summer? So everything's different. Kind of what you get used to is what you know. So we'll have some trade talk. We'll get to that in hour number 2 today. Last night, kind of a quiet night in sports, except Canada. Connor Halley gets the win. It's only a friendly, but still a win is a win is a win. What did you make of the game last night?
Well, first things first, shout out to the 45-ish thousand that went out to the game and braved the weather. That was fantastic to see Edmonton show up and put on a good show. I thought it was good. I thought Uzbekistan, very easily could have been up 2-0 going into the second half. Had some great chances. Kerpo made a really big save on a header in tight there. Good to see Osorio, one of the vets of the team, get the goal. For Jaden Nelson, a guy who's still trying to, pick up that final spot on the team. Really liked his finish. I really liked the run that he had earlier on in the half as well, though. So all in all, you're not going to be too worried about a 2-0 win. I think some of the players coming off injury, there might be some questions about, hoping they're ready to go. And of course, the big story would be Alphonso Davies. He spoke. He was out there running on the field a little bit. Obviously not going to play, unlikely to play in game 1 for sure. But all in all, I think it was a pretty good event despite the weather, because that can usually put a damper on things, but it didn't seem to slow people down last night.
Yeah, lots of fans out there. Not very often they get the national team to play a friendly in Edmonton. Doesn't happen very often. We've seen the last time they were here, there was snow on the sideline. So imagine what crowd we could get if it was a nice day.
Yeah.
Right. Just good for everybody braving it, but it sure would be nice to maybe down the road get a game and you're like, hey, you know what? We got it in July or August where there's a much better chance of better weather. So we'll see where it goes. Busy night in the world of sports tonight because the Stanley Cup Final begins. And really, I wanted to go over just the list of like this month, Connor Halley. Starting tonight starts a month on June 2nd that has a lot of big events. So Stanley Cup Final starts tonight. Tomorrow night, NBA championship begins. Spurs and the Knicks, a rematch of 1999. Thursday, the CFL kicks off a season. Also on Thursday, the U.S. Women's Open begins. On Saturday, Belmont Stakes. On Saturday And Sunday, you have the French Open women's final on Saturday, the men's final on Sunday. And we already know that both winners will be first-time major champions because lots of lots of the favorites, they're out. The Monaco Grand Prix goes on Sunday. Then next Thursday, June 11th, World Cup begins. On the 13th and 14th, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. You got the men's U.S. Open getting going on June 18th. You have the NBA draft on the 23rd and 4th, the NHL draft on June 26th and 27th, and Wimbledon starts June 29th. That is quite a month of activities. 2 majors in one ending, one beginning in tennis, CFL season, NHL and NBA championships, NHL and NBA drafts, races. Like, this is awesome. If you are a sports fan and like a lot of stuff, and then we get into July, and of course you got free agency, and it should be great. So I'm looking forward to it. I think that I look at both finals starting tonight and tomorrow, and the NHL one, like the Spurs are definitely favored more, no question, in the NBA. Like if you just look at it, you have who's going to win the series. It's the Spurs are favored more. Now, not massively compared to hockey, but still they are favored more. And you look about Carolina is still the favorite to win in the National Hockey League. We'll see what happens. So maybe we'll get some picks there later on. Hey, Greg's, when does the double retention rule kick in? It already kicked in, John. It started, that was one of the rules that got implemented right away. So double retention, if you're going to trade one guy now, like now's the time to do it. Like you could have a 3-way decision with the team that says, okay, let's make the trade now, step A of the trade, and then step B will come 75 days later. You can do it in the offseason. Just can't do it. Like in the regular season, it's a lot harder to do. You have to plan it out basically 2.5 months ahead of time from when the A trade happens to when the next part of the trade would occur. So you could do it. I still don't understand why the NHL did that. To me, having a salary cap and having, if you trade a player, and even if you're only getting whatever percentage, if it's 25 or whatever, and one team gets 20 in the playoffs, right? We know what the number would be. So to me, that one just limited trades. I didn't really like that one at all. So it's unfortunate, but what's done is done now, and they have it in place. Hey, Gregor, do you know, is there any places that are kind of home to Canada for soccer? Well, I do know the Druid. Druid's a big place. All the soccer fans go. You can have this scarves and everything else. But I don't know if there's like a quote Canada house for the World Cup. But I do know the Druid, which is right downtown, right across the street from Rogers, is doing every World Cup game. They got all sorts of festivities going on there. So that's one place. If you like it, I would check it out. Because there is something about watching a game in a group, right? In a bigger. Some of you don't like it, totally fine. But a lot of people, you just kind of, you get into it a little bit more. There's that energy. It's just like being in the building. Obviously, it's a little smaller scale. So we'll see. Let's take a quick break so we get to the commissioner on time. The CFL commissioner, Stuart Johnson, is going to join us. And we got lots to discuss. And we'll see how it goes on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors: strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shaq-heated memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at the Brick, saving you more.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicks things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
We just dropped a massive payload at NISQ 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload of Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we've backed up the savings with unbeatable offers on our toughest Fords. Right now, haul away exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150 for the job site or the weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at nisqford.ca. Nisq Ford, above expectations.
Since the 1930s, the Dorchester name has been synonymous with chuck wagon racing in Alberta. And now, it's just as well known for golf. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is open for the season. A challenging 18-hole course nestled in the rolling coulees of central Alberta. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think,
Wow, great hair transplant.
I want them to think,
Wow, great hair.
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Alberta, we're wild and tough and beautiful. We agree that good enough isn't good enough. And though everything that matters starts with a home and a family. At Lux, our family has been handcrafting windows and doors for this incredible place for over half a century. There's no place we'd rather be. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Cougar Creek Golf Resort is now open and in great condition. Experience our championship-length golf course, surrounded by trees and rolling terrain, and only minutes from Edmonton. Book a tee time today. Go to cougarcreekgolf.com and click on golf.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub, Edmonton's favorite soccer home. The Druid Irish Pub is back at the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with $6.50 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$2.19. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. Sports 1440, Sports 1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a fantastic Tuesday afternoon. Man, we're getting people from all different areas. Guys from southwest of Edmonton, southeast of Spruce is saying just under 5 inches on his rain gauge. I love the rain gauge, Cons. If you ever had a rain gauge, sick. We had one at the farm for years. I always liked the rain gauge. It's pretty much a must-have for farm people. You just, you know what? You don't have anything to talk about if you don't know how much rain. Atlanta, that's just, it was a great conversation piece. How much rain did you get last night? Like, go on forever, right? So there you go.
I imagine the farmers loving this right now. Good to have.
Yes. Well, hey, you get good rain in June. Lots of times that can lead to really good crops. Now, it's like anything. Too much of something is never good. And, we probably need it to slow down a little bit. Like if you have all this rain and then you don't have any for 2 months, they kind of like to space it out a little bit, right? In a perfect world, but nothing's ever perfect. It never moves that way. So there you go. Sir Johnson, the commissioner of the CFL, will be joining us momentarily. We got a lot of questions about the CFL, and I'll credit the commissioner. You don't have to like when a guy comes in and says, "You know what, we're going to make change," and he's made change. They've changed the rules. They've changed the playoff format. Now they're changing the broadcast deal, and if you're an owner of the league, if you're a player of the league, you're enjoying it. I know some fans aren't going to like it, but the DAZN deal doesn't begin until next year. And there's a lot of people angry without even knowing the facts. So we'll try to get to some of them, and they might not be 100% known. Like you look at now, if I had one criticism, it would be that sometimes decisions are made and you're not communicating everything about it. Right? Hey, we're going to move up the season. Okay, great. But you don't announce where the draft's going to be. Well, why? You know what I mean? Like if you're going to make a big announcement, it'd be nice to have everything kind of completed. Because if the season starts, there's really only one option now. The CFL draft will have to happen before the NFL draft. Like, there's no other option. What are you going to do? Have a draft while the season's already on? That would be wild. But I don't see it occurring. So we'll see where that goes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. And yes, we got a lot of texts. Yes, we're going to be asking about the fantasy, of course. It hasn't rolled out great just yet, and we'll see. Like, I'm not a tech guy, but I have tech people. And when you launch something, man, you have to understand how many people potentially could be using it. You want to build it so there's like, hey, let's ensure that it's not going to crash when you have 10,000 or 100,000, 500,000, whatever the number is, right? You build that into it. And sure, it can be a good problem if more people than you expect come in, but you should have that prepared. So if it goes down, it's momentarily. It's not forever. So see where that goes. Hey, Greg's, I was at the game last night. I have no idea about the quality of competition, but Canada looked way better. Well, yeah, they were better. That's not a team that's, how do I say it? I don't want to be disrespectful, but no, they're not a top quality team. And Canada should have beat them, and they did beat them. They took care of business, and most importantly, Cons, they came away injury free. Now, while we wait for the commissioner, I'm going to get, we're talking about trade targets. So there's lots of guys. Here's some of the names that have been rumbling. I'm sure you've heard about. St. Louis Blues have probably been the team that's had the most. And Kyrou and Thomas. Parayko was traded last year and then negated the trade. Jordan Binnington. We had Andy Strickland on, and he kind of shot that one down. All right, so we'll get to the Blues in a second. But first, let's get to our CFL report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. The sun is going to come out, and it's going to be hot. Stay cool at legacyheating.ca, as we are joined by the commissioner of the CFL, Stuart Johnson. Joins us. Stuart, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Hey, it's great to be here. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Stuart, I have to give you credit. I like when someone, you say we're going to make some changes, and you made changes. Not everybody's going to love every change, but you've made some significant changes. We'll see some of them in place this year, and then obviously next year the field changes, and the playoff changes. We're going to have a TV change and all those sorts of things. Let's kind of go through it now, because I haven't talked to you since the change. But moving the schedule back, I know that's been talked about for a long time. Why was now the right time to pull the trigger for that next season?
Yeah, thanks, Jason. We really thought giving ourselves as a league a chance to plant a flag on a long weekend like Victoria Day weekend and say that is the CFL's starting point. We are going to launch our season with the unofficial start of summer, and we are going to own the summer, and we're going to own long weekends. From a marketing perspective, we just thought that made a ton of sense. From a weather perspective, there is some benefits, of course. And we thought, let's do it. 27 is going to be a big year. Let's start it off there.
Okay. Did you get a lot of feedback, like moving the season so it ends a bit earlier? Obviously, the West Final, East Final, Grey Cup, if it's not in a dome, it could be. The weather the last few years hasn't been crazy, but have you noticed, do you think there'll be a significant uptick in ticket sales because of moving the season and having it ending a few weeks earlier?
Well, we do think weather will play a factor. I think it's so hard to predict, right? Weather is more and more unpredictable these days, but in general, on average, the earlier in the fall, the better from a warmth perspective. And that affects, of course, Grey Cup as our last game of the season, but it also affects the 2, 3, 4 weeks leading up to that, and including the end of the regular season. So you've got that benefit. You've got less time up against the start of the NBA and the NHL seasons, and again, less times against the NFL. It's a very competitive season in the fall from a sports perspective. And really what we wanted to do is say, we are going to own the summer. We'll own those long weekends. That's who we are, with an outstanding finish in the fall.
And the one thing about the season changing is that the Labor Day matchups become, I think, even more meaningful, because they're a few weeks later in the season now. And, usually you have a better playoff picture at that point. And that's kind of one of those, I'm sure it wasn't a major decision factor, but it's one of the benefits of moving the schedule up earlier, is that the Labor Day weekend is later in the season and more meaningful.
Well, we've been blessed with incredible rivalries on Labor Day weekend. That they don't need much to boost interest in them. But yeah, you're right. It is a factor, not a key factor for us, but having it a little bit later in the season certainly could have bigger playoff implications.
So now, the one thing Stu, you talked about was you wanted the website, the technical side of the league to be better. And I know there was lots of fans, it's a good problem when everybody's like, hey, I want to play fantasy, but then it's a bad problem when it's not working. Can you give us, we got a lot of people texting and wondering, how quick can that be solved?
Yeah, it's Sunday night. You said it. Good news is we had a ton of interest in launching leagues. What a perfect night in a Sunday night, and really disappointed that it had the glitches that it did, and was very, very slow. And we have talked to our vendor, who is responsible for some of the coding that goes into that, and we've scaled up quite a bit. It is significantly improved since Sunday. There's more work being done. I mean, this has been straight up 24 hours every day working on this. and it improved yesterday, more improvement today, and we think it's in decent shape. It's not exactly where I'd want it, but it's gotten close, and I think by tomorrow we should be good.
Okay, so it should be ready to go for the start of the season. Now, what about your league website? Is there something new coming there? Is there going to be more efficiency at the CFL website? Yeah,
Back in November at the State of the League in Winnipeg, I talked about how the Board of Governors had unanimously approved funding of an overhaul of our website and the development of a CFL app. And so we went straight to work. I said the goal is sometime in 2026, is to launch that. So if those who know about digital products, this is ambitious to do it in less than a year, but we've made incredible progress, and we have a date circled on the calendar of September 1st, leading into those Labor Day games, for a launch of our new site and our new app.
Okay, so launch of the new site and the app on September 1st, which will be great. Anything you can tease us on? Something that's going to be new and exciting on the app or the website?
Well, I think, hey, how about just the fact we have an app? There's a start, and I think it's just more intuitive information flow, quicker access to content, and again, our overall content management system much improved, so that the information being delivered to you is intuitive, and so we think the user experience will be significantly improved, but also just the back end delivery of that information.
Okay, awesome. Looking at the one big rule change that really comes in next year, of course, is going to be the dimensions of the field and moving the uprights, etc. When you put it in place, you wanted to give as much advance notice for university and other levels of sport. What's the communication been since then? How many fields do you think are going to change to match the dimensions?
Well, a ton of communication with U Sport, probably if not bi-weekly, it's monthly, and as well presenting at some of their conferences they've had over the last number of months, just to give the background of kind of what we're trying to achieve with the changes that we are going to put in place. So great reception, good understanding of that, but there's also a recognition of significant infrastructure change will take time. So we as the professional league need to focus on our 9 stadiums and putting the best possible product on the field, and then consulting and helping where possible and supporting U Sport and other amateur sport where they want to go. And it could be adopt some of the changes, none of the changes, or all of the changes. I think they're still considering those. Okay. Stuart Johnson, commissioner of the CFL, joins us. Stu, had the announcement a few days ago about the new TV deal. And obviously, it's a win for the league. Massive increase in money. There are people that are a lot of fans are asking for the DAZN, because if you look at DAZN right now, depending on which package you get, will there be a CFL only package that fans can purchase? I think they go by DAZN. DAZN is going to be coming up and developing their packages. They're an incredibly sophisticated company, worldwide presence. They've had a ton of experience scaling up in different countries. They are the number one sports platform in Germany and several other countries. And by that I mean, the TSN or the ESPN of those countries. Mm-hmm. And so they started really new. So they've been able to scale appropriately. And I know that they are so incredibly excited about this new partnership with the CFL. They're going to work through that. I think probably the first thing for them is they've got a production team they've got to get up and going, which is incredibly exciting as well. So they're going to work through those steps, and I'm sure we'll have announcements down the road. Okay, so there might be one specific CFL, maybe it ties in with something else, but so the current packages aren't going to be the only options. Fair to say? I think those are choices and decisions for DAZN, and I know that whatever they do, they're gonna make sure that they've put their best foot forward with the CFL fans to deliver an outstanding product.
So with that, how much of that deal, Stuart, was contingent on TSN being willing to share a piece of the pie, or was it you more saying we need to share a piece of the pie?
Well, I think it is, there are a lot of ebbs and flows in a negotiation of this size. And our starting point with TSN, RDS, Bell Media, our incumbents, was, hey, you've had the whole thing. Do you want the whole, let's talk about the whole thing. And at some point there is a recognition that when a property may have gotten too big for any one platform to swallow the whole thing. And so we had a lot of great discussion back and forth about kind of their needs, what we're looking for. And we are thrilled. I mean, over 40 years, I'm not sure there's been a more important partner and supporter and friend of the league than TSN. So to have them back with 60 games and 7 playoff games, the Grey Cup every year is an absolute positive for our league. And at the same time, the way this has landed, we've opened up the opportunity for the global sports entertainment leader, DAZN, to come in and bring their unbelievable technology, their world-class platform, a new voice and a new way of presenting content, and bring that to the CFL. I'm super excited what they can do.
The other big talk, and you've been busy as the commissioner right now, and I know expansion's been around for decades, Stuart, and I've honestly, I've finally made a joke. I said, I don't want to hear about it anymore because people talk about it for 20 years, and I'm not sure it's ever really been any closer than it was 20 years ago. I know it's something the league would like. Realistically, is there a facility that you see right now that could house a CFL team, or is that the major stepping stone, is to have a facility for the 10th team? And until we see one, it's hard to think there'll be a 10th one.
Well, I think you're right to go right to facility. And certainly it's been an ambition of every commissioner, I would suggest, for the last 20 years to expand to a 10th team. All of our fans know how great that would be. Our commercial partners would be interested in that as well. So it's not for a lack of appeal and want to get a 10th team, but facility has been what's held it back. And so we've got to make sure that there is the appropriate place for a team to play that is suitable for a CFL professional franchise. And if we can get ourselves to that point, then I can tell you there's been, in my 13 months here in this position, we receive numerous inbound calls from very intriguing and interesting individuals and groups who want to be a part of the CFL family. Some of them come from a particular market, and that's what they're interested in. And sometimes they're just calling saying, how do we get involved? And we don't have a market in particular. And so really encouraged by the reaction of that type of community to the growth and momentum they're seeing in the league. And certainly the announcement from last week will only accelerate that interest, I would have to believe. But you're right, there's a long way to go. We want to have those conversations. We want to do proper due diligence. And when the time is right, it'd be wonderful to report something.
Stuart Johnson, the commissioner of the CFL, joined us. And Stuart, since you've taken over, has there been anything that, because you've accomplished a lot, at least from my vantage point, I look and see lots of change, lots of significant. Is there anything that hasn't been done yet, excluding expansion, that you would like to get done?
You know what? I think that all roads really over the last 13 months were probably leading towards the media deals. Okay. I mean, they're so incredibly important for the future of the league. And I could not be happier with where we've landed in terms of trying to optimize our rights around, of course, revenue, but also delivering wide reach where necessary with our biggest games, and then a target into new audiences, and including the deal we did with YouTube as a premier platform to try and bring content to new audiences that maybe don't consume it in a more traditional way. So love where we've landed, and I think right now I want to kick off the season. I can't wait to get to Thursday, get our season going, and we know we're going to probably battle it out with this other form of football that's coming to our country over the first month of the season. And we're going to cheer on Team Canada in the World Cup, and then come out of it on the other side and have a great march to Grey Cup. So really, that's what I'm focused on right now.
Now, you mentioned the YouTube platform. And I saw the release and, some, more interviews and coverage at the Combine and different things like that. I think more access and how to put it, kind of ideally you're looking for more like authentic, interviews and just kind of casual stuff that, maybe, shows off the personalities and interests of the players more.
Yeah, I think, with some of the creator community in media is the fastest growing and has been for a while segment of media. And this is with really impressive individuals who have their own channels on YouTube and other platforms, and they come at content from a slightly different way. And that can be, of course, bringing out the personalities of players or coaches or other folks involved with the CFL, but it also is just their own perspective on things. And so it's a multifaceted agreement with YouTube. Part of it is, of course, surfacing highlights in general. Mm-hmm. It's giving them the opportunity to talk to DAZN and to TSN to perhaps simulcast some live content if they can work that out. It's preseason games live. It's Combine, but we also are incredibly excited about what we can collaborate on when it comes to some of their key creators who just access a very different audience, and they're going to be looking at the CFL. We're going to give them access on the sidelines. We're going to bring some to Grey Cup, and we're also on top of that going to create a lot behind the scenes documentaries that will be exclusive on YouTube, and I think it's just a perfect platform for that type of content. So it's really it's a wide ranging deal. There's a lot that we're just working on in development right now and looking forward to what we can unveil next year. But really, when you're partnering with the biggest video platform in the world, and they say we want to be a part of the CFL community, that's a pretty good sign.
And one last one for you, going back to the schedule launch next year. You mentioned May long weekend. So is the plan to have games like Saturday, Sunday, Monday of that May long weekend? Would that be the plan?
Yeah, you know what? We're working with the clubs and with our scheduling department here at the league to land on the appropriate mix of games. As you know, we have the awkwardness of 9 teams, so there's a team off, and we're going to figure out how best to get that in over the course of the season. So I can't give you an answer on that. Still being worked on, and I don't know even if we're going to make a tradition out of what day of that long weekend we start. We'll see. But I think it's just get it up and going and celebrate that long weekend and every long weekend that comes after that.
Awesome. Stuart, thanks so much for this. Enjoy the season, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you. You too.
There you go. That's Stuart Johnson, the commissioner of the CFL. He's made a lot of moves. And personally, I like a lot of them. I think the league kind of had to come into the new age. Now, I don't love the fact, that's why we asked him about the website. So at least there's a set date, September 1st. Less than 3 months. They'll have an app. Good. They'll have a new revamped website. And I hope it runs smoother. Like, you know what? There's lots of very incredibly talented tech people. Make sure you got the right coding in. I love the fact that so they tried it on Sunday. Smart. It didn't work. For some people, they were kicking them out, picking the wrong players, all that stuff. Now, he says it's about 90%. Tomorrow should be 100%. I know it's not ideal, but it's still, if it's ready to go for you to play before opening kickoff on Thursday, that's a win. So at least they were able to react to it and fix the issues in a pretty timely manner. Anybody who knows tech knows that it's rare that you can just say, oh, you know what? We got this major issue and boom, in 2 minutes, we're going to fix it tech-wise. Doesn't work that way. The coders will attest it can be a labor of love for sure. Quick return. And when we come back, we go from the commissioner to a new general manager. Next on the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This deal's only good till 6 o'clock tonight. We need your credit card to hold the color. Hold the color. Summer package. Winter package. And the ever-famous re-PDI fee. I gotta pay you to rebuild the car? Does this sound familiar? At Northgate, we do things differently. We offer 0% financing, a great selection of new, pre-owned vehicles. So if you'd like to do business a different way, stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Tuesday afternoon continues on. How are you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Donnie P is running it over there. Give him a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate that. Keep getting new subscribers every day. The more subscribers you have, then they offer up more opportunities to do more things on the YouTube page. So keep it growing. It's always good. We very much appreciate that. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 is the text line if you want to get in. Now we're going to get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center. They are hosting Gene Simmons in concert. You can get your tickets, silenticecenter.com. As the star of Kiss, we'll be playing a lot of the classics and more in an intimate venue, silenticecenter.com. And our next guest was announced late last week that he is the new general manager of the Edmonton Oil Kings, has been in the organization for a long, long time, and now got promoted and well-deserving of it. Michael Chan joins us. Michael, congratulations on the new gig. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Jason? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. So I don't know if you can ever in pro sports feel like, it's an automatic that you're just going to keep moving up the ladder because there's only so many job openings, right? And, you did have a fairly young guy in Kurt ahead of you, but you played the kind of, you're obviously patient. Kind of tell me why you feel comfortable in all the work you've done the last few years that sets you up to have success in your new role.
Yeah, I think in the last 5 years with Kurt, since taking the role of the director of scouting, he included me in a ton of stuff with the conversations with agents, with parents, with families, involved with the coaching staff, kind of in all the matters with the club and stuff. So, there's going to be stuff to learn certainly, but I feel like the level that he included me in with the conversations kind of set me up to hopefully hit the ground running here.
Okay. What do you feel? And obviously you work pretty close, and obviously being the head of scouting, that part, like, I guess facilitating trades is probably going to be like the hard. I don't know how you get experience from that. If you just talk to different people, do you have any idea in how you approach that?
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of in the past few years, Kurt would kind of hand over some of the responsibilities of getting talks started and stuff with, maybe the director of player personnel or GMs that I would see out on the road that were scouting at different events and whatnot. And then it's going to be a little different initiating the conversation and then having to make the final call. That's certainly going to be an adjustment. But I feel like I have a pretty good relationship with pretty much all the GMs in the league currently. I've been in the league 9 years now. So hopefully they'll try not to take advantage of me too much in my first few weeks in the job here.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be hey, you know what? I think this is a very bad deal for you. Don't do it. I'm sure, yeah, they'll be very excited to want to help you. But in all seriousness, you mentioned how you initiate talks. And I don't know, like, a lot of people are like, well, maybe it's just like fantasy league. You just text the guy up, hey, man, are you interested in trading this guy? But I don't know if it can, there's always kind of a way to go about it, because you don't want to look like you're too excited or too willing to want to trade a piece, or too excited or willing to want to acquire a certain player.
Yeah, absolutely. I think kind of something we've done the past few years is just done a roster build out of every team, their depth charts, their prospects, kind of anticipating what they might be graduating and whatnot. And I think when we look at that to fill gaps with what we have and gaps they might have, I think you hear a lot of people say it, but the best trades are when both sides can benefit. And I think those are kind of the deals we've kind of tried to strike. And with junior hockey, with the different cycles kind of intersecting at different times, there's been different organizations we've been more familiar with making trades with in the past. And those conversations are easy to get started when there's a relationship between the teams and you kind of know where each other's coming from, and you each have something to give each other.
So you look at your team, Michael, and you know what? Unfortunate injuries last year to some of your key guys down the stretch. Really, I thought a lot of people thought the Oil Kings were set, and it was obviously going to be tough. But you know what? Maybe would have been able to give some of these teams a little bit better run for their money in the postseason. Do you envision this as like a transition year a little bit for your team? Maybe take a step back, but not too far out of the playoffs. Kind of, how do you view it?
Yeah, I think transition year is a good way to put it. We're losing our top 10 leading scorers, but in saying that, we have Aaron Obafifo, who assumed the role of a top line center for us in the playoffs when players were injured. He did a great job of that. We have a great young player, Caden Strader, coming up for next year's NHL draft. He was one of our top players in the playoffs. We're still missing a lot of pieces, but kind of with this NCAA landscape changing, we've been able to go down and get some American players that are 19 and 18 years old to kind of fill in some of the gaps before they head off to college, to kind of bridge the gap a little. And then I think we have a pretty strong core of prospects coming up in the next few years here. We've with some of the trades Kurt made in the rebuild in the past 3-4 years, we've had the opportunity to select in the top 10 a number of times. And with picking in the top 10, we've had some picks at the top of the second round, and we feel like some of the prospects are developing pretty well. Some of them are still going to be pretty young coming into next year. So we want to be, I think, careful with their development, that it's not too much too soon and we're not putting them in a position to not succeed. But I think that's where the players that we're bringing in from other leagues, the USHL and Minnesota High School, and hopefully getting 3 new Euros in the import draft at the end of June, we're hoping that's going to make an impact as well for next year's roster.
I was going to ask you about the approach to the Euro draft. Is that the plan, hopefully, is to draft 3 guys that can come in and help right away?
Yeah, I think that would be the plan, at least for 2 of the players, I would say. I think probably an 18 and 19-year-old for 2 of the players, and then kind of seeing where things fall into place for that third pick if we think, and then we'll have to weigh the balance whether we want to have a guy developing with our younger group or if we want to try to get more of a immediate impact player. But losing Max Curran, Adam Jecko, and Miroslav Holinka, who are all top 6-7 forwards for us, is definitely going to be a big hole to fill.
How's the depth in the Euro draft?
Depth is good. In the past number of years, you've kind of seen like a influx of, I would say, like Swedish players, some of the Eastern European nations going towards the NCAA at a later age, and some of those players weren't available to us in the import draft in the past. And with that avenue opening up, I think it's generating some more potential avenues for us to fill the roster out, as well as a new rule that was passed this year that you can take 16-year-old European players as well in the first round of the draft. So there could be some high potential players that, from the various different nations that could be with your group for a long time if they're a good player.
And for the year, it's every European nation, right? You can draft from anywhere. There's no limitations, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Michael Chan joins us. He's the new general manager of the Edmonton Oil Kings. Of course, being with as their head scout for many years. And you look at part of it when you get to be the GM. Now you get to be the final decision maker. Before you had a lot of say. You're an impact, but at the end of the day, you know what? Kurt still had the final say. Now you get the final say. And is there anything you look at, kind of your personality or your vision of where you want to take the team, and some key pieces that you need, not so much on the ice, but culturally, to ensure that you build a successful team?
Yeah, I think that's something that Kurt has done an unbelievable job with in the last 7 years I've worked with him. Like every year, it seems like we've added a piece to support our players with resource-wise, whether that's a skating coach coming in, increasing the amount of practices or individual development time we have on the ice, or bringing in different skills coaches from all over North America, to increasing the amount of time strength and conditioning coaches are spending around the team, or even from a sports performance mental health standpoint. It seems like every year I've been with him, he's kind of added to that portfolio to kind of, like I said, give them every resource possible. And that's something I'm definitely looking to continue to do and continue to add and be creative in the ways we can support these players and put their development in the forefront as best we can, because with the rules changing, like you said, that's our best chance of keeping them. If we kind of want to put a little bit of a seed of doubt in their mind where they're saying, am I going to get this amount of development, and is this next place going to make me as good as the Oil Kings are? So that's kind of the job that is left up to us.
Okay. Michael Chan Jones. One last one. Michael, you mentioned all the guys that are leaving your team, so that there's going to be some new faces coming in for certain. Some of the younger guys or people in your organization that you feel can step up and you're looking to be top 6 forwards for this coming season.
Yeah, like I said, they were playing down our lineup, but really elevated in the playoffs. I'm really looking forward to seeing Aaron Obafifo and Caden Strader. We have a few returning players as well that were everyday players for us in the lineup. Last year, Kanju Gosek, who we traded for from Kelowna, and Luke Powell is another 19-year-old player that was injured for the majority of last year, but we still think he has something to show and something to prove coming back from an injury. And then on the back end, we had 2 17-year-old D-men last year that I think performed above our expectations, to be quite honest, with Noah Tiamu and Josh Lee. They're 17 last year, and I think they're poised to step in and take top 4 roles this year. There might have been some times where they wanted a little more, but we had obviously a veteran D-core with Ethan McKenzie and Carter Sutherland, so I think they're looking forward to taking on more of a featured role. And then in goal, we have both goaltenders coming back, so we're looking forward to that tandem right now coming back and backstopping us.
Well, Michael, congratulations. A lot of hard work. You move up to the general manager's job. We'll see you around the rink. We'll have you on the show often, and continued success. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Jason.
There you go. That's Michael Chan, the new general manager of the Edmonton Oil Kings. They're in good hands. You probably couldn't have asked for a much smoother transition. Kurt Hill had given Michael more and more responsibility. I think, I talked to Kurt many times, like his goal eventually was to move on, but he always said when he left, he wanted the organization to be in a good spot. So when you leave, it's not going to fall apart. And you know what? I don't think it will. I think Michael, really smart guy, like really smart dude. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do with the Oil Kings. Busy first hour from the commissioner to the GM. Now we get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. 73 different locations. Because if you go online at goauto.ca, 15,000 vehicles to choose from. You'll find one close to you, your color, your style. Goauto.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game 1, Stanley Cup Finals tonight in Carolina as the Kings hosting the Golden Knights. Puck drop just after 6 o'clock. Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Werenski was named the Norris Trophy winner earlier today after recording 22 goals and 59 helpers in 75 games played. Oilers defenseman Evan Bouchard finished 4th in voting. The Nashville Predators confirmed the hiring of Colorado Avalanche general manager Chris McFarland earlier today. He will act as both GM and president of hockey operations in Nashville. Meanwhile, in Colorado, President Joe Sakic will go back to holding the GM duties for the foreseeable future. And the NHL confirmed a new format for the 2027 All-Star Game on Long Island, as the annual event will consist of 5 teams: Canada, Finland, U.S., Sweden, and 1 world team competing in a 3-on-3 round-robin exhibition tournament. Each team will consist of 9 skaters and 2 goalies. Major League Baseball tonight, the Jays in action, taking on the Braves just after 5 o'clock. We'll join that game in progress here on the AM feed on Sports 1440 following the Jason Gregor Show. Elsewhere, you got the Padres and the Phillies. Red Sox host the Orioles, Royals, and Reds. Cards get the Rangers. Athletics head to Chicago to take on the Cubs. Diamondbacks, Dodgers, while the Mets are in Seattle. Riverhawks on the road in Victoria, taking on the Harbor Cats. First pitch set for 7:35. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll get to Terry Ryan, Dave McCarthy from SiriusXM, and hear the latest edition of Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Yes, Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 air conditioning install company for slushy lovers. Because while a slushy keeps you cool as an 80s song for a moment, AC from Legacy keeps you cold as ice all season long. A permanent full-body slushy sensation keeping you cold as ice with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Keeping you cool without the brain freeze. That's how you build a legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities. And his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, good to go.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1, saving you money with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2, water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Our new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more. Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Since the 1930s, the Dorchester name has been synonymous with chuckwagon racing in Alberta. And now, it's just as well known for golf. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is open for the season. A challenging 18-hole course nestled in the rolling coulees of central Alberta. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's after 3 o'clock. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson with you. Tuesday afternoon, the Gregor Show always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. At PlayAlberta.ca, of course, Lotto Max tonight, $10 million and 10 prizes of $100,000. And you can get on the Jason Gregor Show Odds Boost specials. We got a little different one for you tonight. An action-packed first period. How about that? And a little Jays and Braves. That's a tough series for the Jays right now because the Braves are really good. So they're going to need Gosman. If they want to try to win the series, definitely I think they got to win the opening game because the Braves right now are really, really good. What are the Braves sitting at? I think they're like at 40-20. I think they have they're the first team to 40 wins in MLB. So really good. And they got just like everybody's hitting on that team. So that will be a tough 3-gamer here for the Toronto Blue Jays. But they did get a day off, the first day off in like 17 days. So that's a benefit for them. Now, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. And if you missed it earlier today, Zach Werenski wins the Norris Trophy. I thought it was Werenski and Bouchard. I thought those were the guys for the top 2 in my ballot. I'm a little surprised at Makar. You know, I think that was a reputation one, just personally. If you can look at all the numbers you like. I don't really have a problem with it. I know people are like, yeah, but he wasn't good for 10 games down the stretch. 10 games down the stretch don't matter more than 10 games at the start of the year, right? You can't pick and choose which 10 games you don't like. That's why you look at the whole season overall, start to finish. And if you just look at points, that's one thing. But I think then you have to look at points and be like, okay, well, how did he contribute his points comparatively to other guys on his team? And the truth of the matter is Makar and Bouchard and even Dahlin, right? They have, Hudson. They have higher end offensive players. Werenski led his team in scoring. None of the other guys did, right? They had really good years. No question about it. But it does help you as a D-man sometimes when you have 2 elite forwards, right? And your one forward on your team has 138 points. I'm not knocking anything Bouchard. Bouchard to me should have been a finalist. And he actually was on more ballots than Dahlin. I think there's some people that put him fifth because, like, well, I don't want to vote for him, but I'm going to put him fifth on my ballot just because. And then you see like Adam Fox got a fifth place vote on somebody's ballot, which is okay. Like, the guy played 50 games. What the hell is he getting a fifth place vote for? Right? It's also, to me, like, honestly, how does Quinn Hughes get that many first place votes? Like, I'm sorry. It's not just what he did for 40 games in Minnesota. That's not what the award's for. Right now, he wasn't in the top 5, so it's relevant to me, but I look at it. I can't really criticize the people who voted for Werenski first. I can't. I thought Werenski had a really good year. So did Bouchard. As I said, this is, Lane Hudson, Dahlin, Sider, like, lots of guys had good seasons. And even like Cale Makar had a really good year, don't get me wrong. But so, good for Werenski. And, I think Evan Bouchard is a player who, you know what? It'd be nice to lower a few of the grade A giveaways. But overall, Bouchard had an unreal year. I don't, whether he wins the Norris or not, doesn't change it. I know people get fired up, but Werenski winning, if somebody other than Werenski had won, I probably had a big issue with it. But Bouchard or Werenski, I thought either one. And I could understand why Werenski was going to win, because when you look at who he's playing with and how much he's producing and everything like that, it's pretty impressive. Like, he led all D-men in 5-on-5 scoring, and he didn't have any 5-on-5 forwards like McDavid or Draisaitl or McKinnon or Natchez or Caulfield. Go down the list, right? Like, that's impressive. You have to consider it for sure for me. So anyway, TR joined us. TR, how you doing, my man?
Not bad. It's a great spring day here in Newfoundland. How you doing?
Oh, buddy, it's a rainy day here, man. We've had like 5 inches of rain, depending in some areas, anywhere from 3.5 to 5 inches. Kind of crazy. So
it's been awful up till now. I'll correct there. The last week has been absolutely horrendous for spring, but today it's turning a corner. There you go.
Who do you like in the Stanley Cup final and why?
Oh, goodness. I said at the start of the playoffs, I was having a conversation with my dad, and I just thought it'd be tough to beat Carolina. I got no reason to go back on that now. I think it looks really interesting. I don't know if I saw Vegas playing Carolina in the final. But yeah, I like Carolina. I just think I'll buy into a system. Other than that one game against Montreal, I still don't know. Did Montreal play poorly or did they dominate? I don't know. Like everybody buys in. It's like, a lot of their players play the same way. They're just tenacious. They're at you. They're not overly, what's the word? Malicious on the ice. They're not out there taking runs that are going to get them penalties. They don't do a lot of fighting, but they're very tenacious and physical, real fast. I said before, like their D system reminds me of the Devils in the late 90s when they kind of set a precedent, or they set the tone at the very least. And Carolina kind of play like that, except they're speed demons. Hard to see many flaws, but yeah. It's going to be interesting. I got Carolina, but it's a coin flip to me. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fair. I ultimately ended up with Carolina. I didn't love my pick right away. I'm like, geez, I picked it. And I'm like, God, I could easily see them losing. But in their 12 victories, they have been ridiculously dominant. They've only allowed 15 goals in those 12. They had the one loss after 11-day break. It's almost like, not that the game didn't matter, but I can understand why they didn't have their best game, because that game stands out so much compared to the other 12 games. It's so clearly different, right? And what was the only difference? Yeah. Well, they'd had 11-day break, which is, it had never happened before in the NHL playoffs. So I can see why they weren't as crisp as used to. And we saw it in that game, like just some of the giveaways they had and their puck management. It shows you when guys get into a rhythm, just how much better the game is compared to when you're out of rhythm, right? Whether it's preseason. Yeah. To me, it was really like, okay, this is like 3 or 4 day break, whatever. The rust doesn't come, and it's not even rust. It's just the game is so fast. And when you're that effective, and if you're just not used to thinking like that and reacting, it takes you a little bit. Like their first period wasn't good. And then they slowly got a little bit better in the second and a little bit better in the third, but by then it didn't matter. But after that, they just took over. And
Yeah.
To me, the matchup game, he got Slavin on defense, and he had that one game that was bad, and then other than that, he was great. But the stall factor for me, I'm fascinated to see who Rod Brind'Amour is going to put him out against more in this series, because you look at Vegas and their top guys are going. There's no question about it. But Eichel or that Carlson line with Marner and Howden, which line I still think he'll probably put him against Jack Eichel. If it was me, that's what I would do, right? Or who would you, if you're Brind'Amour, who would you play Stahl against?
Yeah, I would play him against Eichel.
Yeah.
I do, because it's not only the matchup stats wise and taking out the big player or playing against and focusing in on one guy. I'm not saying, because it's going to be a team thing, but if I'm Brind'Amour playing Stahl, I'm playing against Eichel, and Stahl's really strong as well. He's not just good with his stick defensively, but like really, really strong. And Eichel, I think, is underrated strong. Some of those chances he gets them because he's, he doesn't even look like he's fighting to get open, but just to be there in the corners and everything, I just find him really strong. So I think, to me, it's not a no-brainer, but that's the way I would lean. And bringing up Brind'Amour, that's another thing. So I got Tortorella, you can look at it. Is this lightning in a bottle? Are they going to go through? But I just think if I'm a betting man, I said it's a coin flip. But if I'm betting, I'm going that side has more. Tortorella has more chance to do something that distracts or to go nuclear or something. Whereas Brind'Amour, they've been it's just like, the tortoise and the hare, they've just been going like a metronome. They go by and they say once in a while they'll create an opportunity, but they're going with those systems and they say the right things and they do the right things. And for the last, I don't know how many years, the better part of a decade, a lot of these guys have won and lost together, and they've nearly made it. You hear about it in Oilerland and Leafland, but if you were a Carolina Hurricane, if they were a Canadian team with a huge market, you would hear just as much, because they've been there. They've lost in heartbreaking fashion. They've made it to the second round. They made it to the third round. They just haven't gotten back, and they've won. I guess it was a couple of decades ago when they won the Cup, but they've been right there scratching. Brind'Amour is the common denominator in that, and now he's coaching. And you see him and you don't hear many players complain. It just seems like a ride that they're all on together. And now finally, think of the Oilers. If they were back in the final, they would have an extra kind of edge. It's tough to compare. You're not going to say, well, you mean they didn't want to win 2 years ago? No, they did. But when you taste heartbreak and then you taste it again, it does something to your innards sports wise. And you need to get out there and you want that other opportunity. Well, Carolina finally have it. So, like I said, this is, to me, real close, almost too close to call, but that's another reason that I would probably go with Carolina. I think there's more guys there that have tasted the agony of defeat many times as a group.
Yeah, that's fair. Terry Ryan joins us here on Sports 1440. We'll take a quick break. When we return, Dave A. McCarthy will be by. We're also going to talk a little World Cup. TR, of course, Canada getting closer. Are you going to any World Cup games?
Oh, man, I don't know. I was going to. I looked at the prices of the tickets. Man, what's going on? That's a gouge.
Yeah. I was looking, like the Canada game upper deck, I think was $3,300 a seat. Yes,
I was going to say $3,000. Are you kidding? So the answer is no. I will go I'm going to go to, in Toronto. I'm definitely going to hang out at Liberty Village and take in the festivities. But I'm not even tempted at those prices.
Quick break. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Rev up for a ride that truly matters. Join the Princess Auto Ride for Dad Edmonton, where hundreds of motorcycles fire up and roll out together in one unforgettable moment. Enjoy a scenic route, great food, amazing prizes, fundraising awards, and a whole community riding shoulder to shoulder. Collect pledges to support prostate cancer research and awareness in the fight against prostate cancer. Ride strong, ride proud to make a difference on Saturday, June 13th, starting at Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku. Register now at ridefordad.ca. For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save on Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save on Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
Only Crave has your favorite summer obsession, Love Island, USA. The reality sensation is back.
Hello, Islanders.
And so is irresistible host, Ariana Maddox.
Here's to a great summer of love.
Sexy singles, jaw-dropping drama. Who's ready to play? Love Island, USA. The new season streams June 2nd, only on Crave. Subscribe now at crave.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
A fitting song on a wet Tuesday afternoon. Man, that is such a good tune. Like, honestly, what year is that song made? When did that song come out? Like early 90s? Late 80s? Like, honestly, it still is just a banger of a tune.
89.
89. Oh, I was close. There you go. So, it's just like, honestly, it has aged incredibly well. 37 years later, still kicking it. Kick in it. So I like it. Like it a lot. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. You can text us as it's time to go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's, where stop in right now at McD's, because, hey, you know what? Maybe you're a little bit tired of the rain, but this will cheer you up. Vanilla cones are only $1 now through until the end of the summer, exclusively in the McDonald's app. Download and register today only at McDonald's. Get the app, order, boom, you pull up, you got your cone. Get them for the office. Everybody will be in a better mood. Be nice. As Dave A. McCarthy from SiriusXM joins us. Davey, how you doing?
I didn't have my headset on in time. What song were you talking about?
Oh, the Tragically Hip. New Orleans is sinking.
Oh, it's great tune. It's just elite level music.
Elite level. Now, Connor was wondering, he saw you post on Twitter today.
Yeah.
How you had like his tweet in your background and then you're walking. So he has 2 questions. 1, how'd you do it? 2, can you undo more buttons?
Oh, on my tarp. I guess I could. I don't know if anybody would want to see that, but the answer is yes. How I did it, I can't believe you're asking me to explain how to do things technologically on an app. So I always go to retweet, or I guess quote tweet Connor's tweet of today's show. And so when I hit the same button that I always do, I was met with a third option beyond just repost or quote. There's now react with video. So being the curious guy that I am, and I don't know when this happened, I guess some overnight update on my phone, I hit react with video. And then what it does is, for those of us watching at home, it overlays the tweet. And then when you aim it at yourself, the tweet becomes the background and you are the foreground. And then you see what I posted as the finished product. And I think that's kind of neat.
Okay, well, there you go. Connor was very curious. He was very curious.
This is nothing I invented or had some third-party app. I'll put it that way.
Okay, there you go. I like it. So if Dave, if you were taking a picture of the Stanley Cup final, what do you think ultimately will be in the forefront when this series is over?
Like in terms of how the series plays out?
Maybe it's a player, maybe it's a team winning. Like, what do you think comes to the forefront when we wrap up the 2026 Stanley Cup final?
Oh, it's a really good question. Like, I was talking to a former manager today, and I asked him his thoughts on how this series was going to play out. And he said that he thinks it's going to be Vegas, just simply because they have more top-end talent than Carolina does. And I would agree with that. But I don't know. I just still love the way Carolina plays. Like, they're able to just suffocate the life out of their opponent. And as good as Vegas has been defensively, I think Carolina's just that much better. The fact that they've averaged just 1.62 goals per game during the playoffs, and that even factors in the game 1 of the conference finals, where that's why when you do data, you always throw out the max and the min, because it throws off the sample size, right? So you get rid of the high and the low, and then you have a more reasonable number that you arrive on as the average. So that's not even throwing out the top. Throw that out, it goes down even more. And that's 12 games of sample size. That's not 2 or 3. 12 is a lot, right? Like, that's more than 10% of the regular season. So very impressive. And so I think when I look into my crystal ball, if you will, I think what we're going to see is a low-scoring series, and I think we're going to remember Carolina being just such a defensively suffocating group in a way that we haven't seen in quite some time, because I don't see them getting away from that. I really don't. It's not like Ottawa didn't have talent. It's not like Philadelphia didn't have offensive talent. It's not like Montreal didn't have offensive talent. They absolutely did. You just wouldn't believe it when you watch the games, because it was nowhere to be found because of how well Carolina plays defensively. And if you think they're going to get away from their game now, you're kidding yourself. I think they're going to adhere to that system even more.
Yeah, I think game one might be a little bit high scoring, but after that, I think it's just going to progressively go down, or we're probably going to see a lot of 3-2, 2-1 games. I hope I'm wrong. I love lead changes. I love goals, but I think it will be a competitive series. The NHL made a few announcements today. Gary Bettman addressing it. They unveiled their All-Star game for next year. It's going to be in Long Island, Dave. And in the All-Star skills competition, only players 25 years of age and younger will be participating. Basically, the veteran said, I'm done. I'm not doing the fastest skater anymore. I'm not doing the breakaways. It's only going to be 25 and under. So, but the one thing I didn't notice is if they said it still has to be a player from every team. Because if it doesn't have to be a player from every team in the skills competition, great. It shouldn't be a player from every team in the All-Star game. It should be, you know what? If you want to have somebody from your organization, it can be one or the other. You don't need every team represented in the All-Star game, and you don't need every team represented in the skills competition.
Yeah, I agree. I think, if you're putting a guy in the All-Star game just simply to represent a team so that you feel like all 32 markets are represented, and by I come back to the year Leo Komarov was the Leafs representative at the All-Star game. It might have been like 2014, something like that. Nobody on that team had business making the All-Star game that year. And they put Komarov in just because he was the best player on the team at the time and wasn't saying much. And it's like, whatever. So, do you think trying to think of a lousy team these days, because there's a lot of teams that are on the rise. Let's just don't. San Jose is a bad example because Celebrini will obviously be there. I don't know. We'll use the Arizona Coyotes just because no one will get offended then by me bringing up that example. And they're not good, or whoever it might be is not good, and you drag a guy in. Do you think that market is going to watch more or less just because one guy on a lousy team is there? I don't think so. I really don't. So I would have been perfectly okay with not having a representative from every team, but I get why they do. I also understand the 25 years of age and younger thing for the skills competition. And I guess what they don't want to have is like a Nikita Kucherov situation from the Toronto All-Star game where he just kind of like Pepe Le Pew'd and I don't give a damn. But to an extent, I don't know. I feel like we all want to see Connor McDavid in the fastest skater. We want to see, whoever it is with a booming shot, like back in the days, Chara or Shea Weber. I don't even know who would have the hardest shot in the game today. Not a guy stands out maybe.
I think it's Darren Radish.
Maybe Darren Radish, sure. So you kind of want to see that guy unleash his shot. So that's a little bit disappointing, I guess, but I can kind of understand it's a too cool for school type of thing for the guys that are 33, been there, done that, and they just want to go have a good time and stand there and watch, I guess. I don't know. I think they're trying something again, and I respect it. And you could find the best format of all time, or you could find the worst format of all time. And I think my interest in the All-Star game would be pretty consistent, one way or the other. I'll watch, I'll tune in. If I'm going to go, then I'll really be into it. If I'm not there, I'll watch if it works, and if not, I'll catch it later, whatever. And so I think as long as it's a good situation in the market, that's the most important thing. But yeah, it'll be kind of weird if McDavid isn't in the fastest skater, don't you think?
I remember talking to Connor. He's like, I ain't doing it anymore. So
no, you know what? That's probably why they ended up with this, because the PA is involved. And let's be honest, I think 97 has a pretty loud voice within the PA.
And honestly, I don't love the fastest skater because they never skate a lap anyway in the game. I like it in a straight line, quick short burst. That to me is the better one. Radish does have the most 90 to 100 mile an hour shots this year at 96, but the guy with the most 100 mile an hour plus shots, defenseman for the Chicago Blackhawks, Louis Crevier, had 6 shots this year of over 100 miles per hour. So I guess he has the hardest, but Radish is definitely the most consistently hard. Evan Bouchard second. Bouchard actually had a pretty big drop. Last year he had over 90 shots of 90 to 100, and this year was down to 51. So I'll be curious to see if that goes back up or not. The other news in the NHL today, the Nashville Predators. Colorado granted him very quickly, because this name had been rumored around there for a while. McFarland was going to go and take on, the president of hockey operations, which would be a promotion in Nashville. And he is gone in Colorado. It was interesting seeing the reaction today from Colorado people. Wow, since he took over as GM, they never got they only got out of the first round once. And they don't have a first round pick until 2029. I think that's all valid. But part of me thinks the reason McFarland's leaving, Dave, is because he didn't have full autonomy in Colorado. Right? He had Sakic above him, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think now in Nashville, he gets to make all the decisions.
From people that I've talked to, I've heard similar things, that McFarland got a lot of leeway to orchestrate his vision, but at the end of the day, he had to go upstairs and knock on Joe's door and say, we cool with this. And so Joe had a significant voice and the final say, from what I understand, in Colorado as well. And so it's not really a surprise to see him take back on the GM's role, if you will, in Colorado. We'll see if they ultimately hire somebody else down the road. I mean, really what you're losing, or if they'll just delegate more work onto the assistant GM. Basically what they had is the guy that did most of the work, and then Joe Sakic said yes or no, which is kind of the position that I'd want to be in if I were Joe. I don't want to do the day-to-day work, but I want the final call. And so Chris wanted the final call, and I get that. And so he goes to Nashville. Amazing how quickly that deal got done. Like just incredibly quick once permission was granted. But it kind of makes sense. And so we'll see if Chris is able to turn the Nashville Predators into a team that's a little bit more of a contender. I think it's good that they brought someone in from outside that organization in Nashville, because if there's one thing you can say about the Predators, it's that, I hate to use the word inbred, and don't take it the wrong way, but they have basically had one way of doing things for the entirety of the time that their franchise has been in existence. It was David Poyle, and who did a fantastic job, but was there for a long time, to Barry Trotz, who was the coach there for a long time, and then left, and then came back, and certainly had a similar mindset to the way things were done in Nashville. And so I think it's good that they bring in an outside voice, fresh eyes, and so you can look and say, okay, there's some good things that we've done here, but how about we try doing this that way? Did you ever think about that before? And maybe the answer is no. And so that was smart to hire somebody outside the organization. I've heard a lot of really positive things about how Chris managed the team, how he deals with people. And I think he's earned the opportunity to be ultimately the guy and have his own final say. So, interesting hire there on the part of the Nashville Predators. And I'm looking forward to, because I think Nashville has some good parts. But I think, like I said, an outside voice will be good to take a different look at doing things in some different ways. And I think that'll be good for the organization.
I'll be very curious to see kind of what direction they're going to go in Nashville. And then, conceivably Joe Sakic, he's going to take over in the interim and run the draft and everything. I'm curious, do you think they fill the GM job, or does he go back to being the GM?
I guess that all comes down to how much money Mr. Kroenke is interested in spending at the end of the day, right? I mean, right now Joe takes on the two titles. Like I said, he was making the final call as I understood it. It's just now he's got to do a little bit more of the day-to-day work, but can they delegate it through the assistant general managers and, lessen the workload to an extent? It's not anything that Joe's unfamiliar with. Maybe doesn't get to the golf course quite as often. Who knows? But we'll see in the short term how it goes, and if they find somebody who they feel maybe internally within that organization that they'd elevate into the GM's role moving forward. I think it was also interesting to see that Jared Bednar is expected to remain in Colorado as the head coach. And so, now there's finality on that front. which I think is good for the organization. Come to a decision and then move forward. Don't let it drag deep into June and then maybe beyond, because it impacts the way you build your team when you're trying to lure free agents, if there's any that they're interested in. I kind of want to know who the coach is. So now they've made a decision and that's out of the way. And so you've got some stability in Colorado moving forward.
Davey, who you're picking Carolina? Who for fun? Who will be hoisting the Conn Smythe Trophy 2 weeks time?
Yeah, like as good as Freddie Anderson's numbers are, I think they are so good in a way where he has just been asked to make the stops he's supposed to make and maybe mix in one or two bonus. But like he hasn't played like Sergei Bobrovsky at times during the Panthers runs where he was just like banana lands good. Freddie's been great, but I think it speaks to how controlled Carolina's system has been. Now, if Vegas challenges him a little bit more and he keeps it up and they win a bunch of games 2-1 and 3-2, yeah, I think he's got a really good chance. But if it kind of stays the same way and he just, he makes 19 to 22 stops a night and it's kind of straight ahead and it's not chaos and he's not standing on his head, he's just stopping the pucks he needs to stop. I don't know if you give it to him. I think Taylor Hall has a really good chance because I think he's been an absolute difference maker for this Carolina team. He's been productive. He's been physical. He's impacted the game in a variety of different ways. And I think he's helped make Jackson Blake and Logan Stankoven even that much better themselves. Like I talked to the power play yesterday on our network, and we had Jason Strudwick, your old buddy there, your current buddy, let's be honest, on, and we were talking about that, and Strudwick made a really good point. And he said, like, you're a couple of young guys in Logan and Jackson, you got a veteran guy in Taylor Hall who has shown the ability to amend and adapt his game. And, now it's just like, follow my lead, right? Like, and I think that's exactly what's happened with that line. You've got the youthful exuberance. You still got Taylor, a veteran guy who can skate like the wind and is willing to be physical. But I think he's brought the best out of those two guys as well. And together, the three of them, that line, man, where would Carolina be without them? I don't think they'd be here. They've been that good. And I think Taylor's the engine that's driven that line. And I'll tell you what, I like Taylor a lot too. A really quality guy. And, for a little while, it looked like his career was kind of at a crossroads. He was down the lineup on a lousy team in Chicago, and he's reinvented himself. He's been a really good player in this league a long time. It'd be kind of neat to see him put the cherry on his career with a Conn Smythe win and a Stanley Cup.
Davey, should be fun, man. We appreciate it. Have yourself an awesome day, and we will chat with you Sunday on the brunch.
Sounds good. Still raining in Edmonton, by the way?
It is. Yeah, it's slowed down a bit, but I don't think it's going to stop here fully until maybe tomorrow. So it would be nice to get a little sunshine. We've needed some rain, but now it's at the point now where it's in some places a bit too much. There's like flood fields and stuff. So it's like anything. Too much of anything, Dave, is not good. Too much fruit in one feed isn't good for you. So
as the poet laureate of our time, Yosemite Sam once said, "You didn't have to overdo it." And there's a lot of wise words in there.
It's true. Davey, have a good one. Our tech guru, Dave A. McCarthy from Sirius XM. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. We got a lot of text to get to 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We get to our stats of the day and Trade Tuesday. Our first edition of Trade Tuesday, a trade. Would you make it, yay or nay? Next, here on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on roller, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business, and for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at cantork.com.
Air conditioning from Legacy Heating and Cooling is like a country love song because you always know exactly what you're getting. Cause girl, you're hotter than Tennessee, cooler than Legacy's AC, blowing that southern breeze over me. Wheat fields, cold beer, pickup trucks, John Deere. You see, Legacy is that predictable because Legacy always has AC in stock and will install it faster than a truck burning down a back road. Plus, no interest and no payments for 1 year. That's how you lasso your Legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks. Our city, our year.
Stanley Cup.
Everything
There it is.
is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McVicken,
Cam
a
Tate.
licensed insolvency
Sports,
trustee.
Fort
with
10.
Favor. If your business
40.
is facing financial challenges, our team
Fort
of
10.
chartered insolvency and
40.
restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome
All the daily
increase
challenges of
if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
Here's what you need to know about Lux Windows. We work hard.
I don't know exactly.
We come in early. We
2-minute
stay late,
warning.
we go
Sports
above and
1440.
beyond, and then we go a little further. Not for awards or a
Fort
pat
10.
on the back.
Sports.
We work hard so that choosing our windows and doors
This
an
is
easy
Cam Tate.
decision for you.
Sports
It's the
1440.
Alberta way.
Sports.
It's the Lux way. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
I'm in to fight this war and win it.
From fire comes darkness. The long-awaited new season of HBO's House of the Dragon returns June 21st, only on Crave. Before the epic war ignites, catch up on the groundbreaking series hailed as breathtaking and magnificent.
The path to victory now is one of violence.
House of the Dragon, an HBO original. Catch up before the new season begins, June 21st, only on Crave. Subscribe now at crave.ca.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by EWEL, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ewell.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ewell.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
347. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson. Boys, get ready. Get your mics on. We're going to get your thoughts. We do a Trade Tuesday, and some will be about the orders, but there can't always be about the orders. So let's be serious. So here you go. Today, Trade Tuesday. We're going to do it every month of June because you know what? There's lots of trades leading up to the draft. There's rumors out there. So I'm going to start with one that we know a player has asked for a trade. So that's always a good start to say, okay, is it possible? So then I look at it and say, okay, what's realistic? So I try to find some teams. And so here's a trade that's depends on which way you look at it. So Simon Nemec from the New Jersey Devils, along with Paul Cotter from the New Jersey Devils. Now, he's an RFA as well. Cotter, Nemec, and a second rounder to San Jose for Eklund. Would you make that trade, Connor, for either team? Nemec? Now, Nemec and Cotter, both guys need contracts. And meanwhile, San Jose has, they got both. Forwards is their biggest strength. Right? Forwards is their biggest strength. So actually, you know what? I'm already going to I'm going to alter my trade to begin with because of one thing. I'm looking at Eklund's got, he's 5.6 for 3 more years. So I do have to, look at salary. I know that Cotter's coming off, but he's not going to make that much money. Nemec, obviously, he's an RFA. But between the two of them, actually, no, that's a fair deal salary-wise. I think like those two are probably $3 million players, I would think. So it's Cotter and Nemec for Eklund. Yay or nay? Cons, who says no? Or who says yes?
Nemec and Connor. Okay, so I'm just looking through here.
What are you looking up?
I think that San Jose might consider that one because you get a little help on the back end there. That's what they need. Obviously, I think that's where they're going to go in the draft, whether it be at the number 2 or if they trade down. If I'm the San Jose Sharks, I think I'd be willing to do that one. If you're the Devils, I think Eklund's got the upside there. Former top 10 pick. I like it for San Jose. I'll say that.
Donnie P?
I like that for San Jose too. Excuse me. I think Nemec, there's a little bit more offense that you can tap into there. And then for William Eklund, I like the player. I just think I probably value Nemec more, just straight up.
Really?
I think I'd do Nemec. If I was San Jose, I think I'd do Nemec for Eklund straight up. I like Eklund, but
really,
I really like Nemec.
No, Nemec is he's intriguing. He would fall into that young category, a young defenseman who maybe hasn't reached it yet. The reason I threw in Cotter was because I still feel like you got to have some salary. Where I don't think Nemec is going to get $5.6 million based on what he's done at this point. He might want it, but like he hasn't done anything yet at the NHL level. Right now, he had 26 points, right? 19, but 26, not a huge power play guy because obviously there's guys in San Jose that are playing ahead of him. But he did score 11 goals this past year. But 11 goals is a tough one for D-men because you got to literally break down those goals. Were they just shots on goal through screens? Was it like Bouchard's a goal-scoring defenseman where he scores some goals that just very few guys can't, right? Like he walks in, goalie sees him, he beats him clean from 30 feet. Like that to me is a goal scorer's goal. I'd have to look at all of Nemec's goals, but he is a former second overall pick. So some might say, hey, maybe New Jersey's giving up too much, right? So I understand it. But the thing is, Eklund is a player who is, he had a pretty good breakout year last year. Mm-hmm. And I like Nemec, and that's why I don't think you have to sell low for him right now. Right. I just look at Eklund. Now, if I'm New Jersey, my concern is it's another small forward. Right. And this guy he's like a 50-point player for sure. Could he move up and be a 60-point guy? Yeah, that's kind of what he is. Right. So, the second rounder is the one thing I would take out of the pick. Like, I think that was too much. It would just be Cotter and Nemec. And I was throwing in Cotter because he's an RFA. San Jose is going to need a depth forward. Right. He's a bottom 6 guy. Solid player, but he's like a single-digit goal scorer for the most part. That's what he is. So you do Nemec straight up for Eklund, because I had mentioned that earlier, and people were like, no. Nemec hasn't been proven. But I'm like, it's a D-man. And a D-man who's like, he's an NHL defenseman. There's no debating that. It's just how good of a defenseman can he be.
I think he could be a number 2. I've seen the potential in there. I know it hasn't fully shown up yet, but I think there's more offense than a 26-point player would suggest from last season. New Jersey just kind of, like, they gave him opportunity at times last year, and then they took it away. It was a weird season for me in New Jersey watching Nemec, but this is a player I'm personally really high on. I don't like Eklund's. Obviously, there's way more proven there, but for me, the right shot D-man who could be, in my opinion, a number 2. I think you take that over the 60-point, maybe 65-point Eklund ceiling tops.
Yeah, like Eklund, my concern is that he's maybe not a goal scorer if I'm New Jersey, right? But New Jersey's got so many defensemen. That's the thing. Like, if you're trading Nemec because you've got Dougie Hamilton and you got Luke Hughes and you got Brett Pesce and you got Jonathan Kovacevic and you got Brendan Dillon, although he's not going to play this year, and you got Jonas Siegenthaler, right? Like, they've got a lot of good D. So I don't think they need a defenseman back. They're one of the few teams that could trade a D-man and not need a D-man back and still be pretty good. And up front, like, you've got Hughes and you got Brad and Heischer, but after Timo Meier, like, they don't have, Dawson Mercer. I've kind of heard mixed reviews in New Jersey about Dawson Mercer. So I think they would like another guy who could be, because Eklund didn't play with the 2 big dogs in San Jose for the most part, right? He was kind of running solo a little bit on their second line. So I try to go for trades that at least will create a conversation where it's not a direct, obvious no for either one. But Nemec, he's asked for a trade. He's a young guy. Now, if he doesn't get traded, the only way he doesn't get traded on New Jersey, I think, this year at the draft, is if New Jersey trades away some other defensemen and say, okay, you know what? We're going to get rid of you. That's where I see it.
It has to be Dougie, right?
Well, he's got 2 years at $9 million. He's a right shot, same as Nemec, but like, trading Dougie Hamilton's probably a harder trade to make than Simone Nemec, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be their challenge there. But you're right. Like, New Jersey's a fascinating team for me. When I look at their blue line, and, you still, like, Dougie Hamilton still played the second most minutes per game of any defenseman in New Jersey. So, and he had 39 points and he still had 12 goals. And, they kind of split the first power play, right? If I was like, look, I thought I got to double check it, but I know their points were pretty much 50-50 between Hughes and Hamilton. And I thought their minutes played were fairly close there. So, Nemec has not really been a power play guy when it comes to time on ice. And if you score 11 goals and you're not a huge power play guy, like, it makes me wonder and say, hey, maybe he could be, right? Like, he was basically getting second pair kind of great, about a minute a game per se. So I don't mind that, but you're right. If they could trade, I'm sure if you asked them, could we trade Hamilton or Nemec? You'd trade Hamilton, but it's a $9 million player who has bounced around to numerous teams already. And I wonder if teams would be like, I don't know if I want him.
Well, I know everybody talks about, could you potentially see Dougie go to San Jose instead? Not for an Eklund deal, but I know that's been thrown around. I know Nurse to San Jose has gotten thrown around, but I don't know. Dougie?
Yeah, the thing about it, like the Nurse trade that I've talked about for Edmonton, if they're going to trade Darnell Nurse, you have to have other steps in place if you're not getting a defenseman back, right? So the only way like a Nurse trade would make sense to San Jose is if you have it and you get the rights to Mario Ferraro and you have the nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We've talked to him beforehand, right? Because he's really the only D-man who's a pending UFA that I think you'd consider. He's a left shot guy. Like Klingberg and Desharnais are right shots. And, Shakira Makmadulin, I guess you could get him involved in the trade, but I have no idea how good he can be. Honestly, I don't. Like, is he a second, like, and is he a second pair guy and a cup contender right now? Definitely not. He might become that down the road, but that's a trade that would just lower Edmonton's overall skill today. Down the road, it might be better, but today it would be lower. And I can't see him doing that. So I just I've heard the Nurse rumors for a while. I'm just not sold that, it makes a boatload of sense. I know people said Colin Graff. Like, I like Colin Graff. I don't love Colin Graff. I think Colin Graff is getting a little bit overrated in San Jose right now. For me, like, he's a right shot guy. He had a good year. I don't, and I could be wrong on him. I'm not as high on Graff as some people are out there. So, he had a really good year. Could he do it again? Like, he kind of came and, had a massive jump up. Like, heck, the guy had like 8 goals in 40 AHL games last year. And then boom, he scores 21 in 81 NHL games. Like, that's awesome. I just don't know if it's repeatable. So I'm not as, like, I saw people in San Jose say, oh, they would never trade Graff for Nurse straight up. And I'm like, what? Like, you think Graff is that good? Let's maybe pump the brakes a bit on that one. Hey, guys, New Jersey's getting Quinn Hughes soon. Let's be honest, from Jeff. Jeff, honestly, I don't believe they will. Why would Quinn Hughes go to New Jersey and take all the power play minutes away from his brother, Luke? Like, I think people are overlooking that. Like, honestly, hey, I'm an older brother. I get to play with my brothers, and the younger brother's like, yeah, but now I don't get to play in the power play. Right? So that's going to limit all of his future earning potentials. I really don't see a Quinn Hughes to New Jersey fit as much as a lot of people. I know they love the, hey, 3 brothers play together. Great. I'm not sure it's realistic when I look at ice time and a lot of other things. So we'll see. Quick break. We got a lot of texts coming in. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, no chance New Jersey does that. Are you a closet Sharks fan? Oh, no, I'm not actually. There's lots of reasons why I don't really like Sharks at all, to be honest. But no. So you're saying New Jersey, no chance they do that because you're rating Nemec that high? Maybe he's rated higher than that. But I'm just telling you, young defensemen historically, go look at the trades. Right? Look at young defensemen who good, but you're still trading potential on a guy now who's a back-to-back 50-point player. And I know people kind of scoff at back-to-back, but back-to-back 50-point is legit top 6-4. How many players, and I do it how many players do you think scored 50 points last year in the National Hockey League amongst forwards? Right? Honestly, how many do you think? 200? No. William Eklund was in the top 100 scoring forwards in the NHL last year. So do the math. He's basically like a top 4 forward on your team. He's not the chump change that some people think. And Nemec is, I do not know yet. You don't know yet. But if I'm New Jersey, would I be leery of it? Yes. But when the player asks for a trade, he's a young player, he's an RFA, like there's, then there's offer sheet potential. They might be waiting on that. We'll see. But young D-men, lots of them have gotten traded who then emerged to be better D-men. That's happened a lot. So I wouldn't be shocked if it happens again with New Jersey. And at least they want to get a younger player who's, a top 10 pick, who they can at least say, well, yeah, if Nemec plays well, at least we've got a good player. Let's get to the Common Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. For all your vehicle needs, stop in at fountaintire.com. Not only will they tell you what's wrong with your vehicle, they will show you with their digital vehicle report. Fountaintire.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
Stanley Cup Final Game 1 tonight from Raleigh. The Hurricanes host the Golden Knights. Puck drop just after 6 o'clock. Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Werenski was named the Norris Trophy winner earlier today after a season in which he had 22 goals, 59 helpers in 75 games played. Oilers defenseman Evan Bouchard finished 4th in the voting. The Nashville Predators confirmed the hiring of former Avs GM Chris McFarland earlier today as their GM and president of hockey operations. In Colorado, Joe Sakic will handle the GM duties for the foreseeable future. And the NHL confirmed a new format for the 2027 All-Star Game on Long Island. The annual event will consist of 5 teams with Canada, Finland, U.S., Sweden, and 1 world team competing in a 3-on-3 round-robin exhibition tournament. Each team will have 9 skaters and 2 goalies. Major League Baseball today, Jays in Atlanta taking on the Braves just after 5 o'clock. We'll join that game in progress immediately following the Jason Gregor Show on our AM feed. We've also got the Tigers and the Rays. Phillies host the Padres. Orioles travel to Boston. White Sox in Minnesota. Cards get the Rangers. Athletics taking on the Cubs. Dodgers in the desert meeting the Diamondbacks. And the Mariners hosting the New York Mets. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions. Here Cam takes 2-minute warning and look at the Vegas Golden Knights with Ken Bolke of Sinbin Vegas. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440.
Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
What's that? Is that actually spring? Like no snow squalls or bad weather tomorrow? It's actually spring? Well, GS Construction welcomes the warmer weather because that means we can really get to work. Now, it doesn't matter if there was bad weather. This is our time to shine, but we can't do it without good people to do that work. That's why GS Construction is hiring pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. If you want to join a team who loves their work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
This is you.
Hi.
And your cornhole team needs money.
Yeah, we do need money.
Plus, you've tried every fundraiser under the sun.
No kidding, and no one's buying my Cuban salted chocolate.
Scrap the chocolate and fundraise for your team, club, or charity at On the Rocks. Here's the deal. We'll create custom tickets for your event, which includes no cover, no line, and beverage before 10 p.m. Then you sell your tickets and keep all the profits.
That sounds easy.
It is. Fundraisers at On the Rocks. Book, party, cash. OnTheRocksYEG.com.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
At Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
All the protection you want, none of the weight. Introducing Timberland Pro's Boondock Ultra Light Work Boots. The lightest Boondock yet, with the Timberland durability you expect. Conquer long shifts, move faster, and work safer with all-day comfort in a lightweight package. Find your Boondock Ultralights now at all 3 of our Edmonton job site workwear locations and online at jobsiteworkwear.ca.
Job site workwear, tough different tough jobs. Sitting in the morning sun.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Looking for a tasty lunch? Papa John's has you covered. Get a small 2-topping pizza for only $9.99 with code S999 at papajohns.ca. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.407. It's amazing when you watch the replay of the Canada Uzbekistan game on TV last night, and even though it was raining, doesn't even look at times like it was raining. The quality of the TV now is pretty damn good. Pretty good. Welcome back. It is the Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province of PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, Lotto Max, 10 mil and 10 extra prizes of 100 grand. Get your tickets at playalberta.ca. And while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor odds boost specials tonight, Stanley Cup Final, and of course, a little Jays Braves action for you. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're going to get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate coming up in a little bit. We also have a lot of texts flying in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey guys, I have to say that that trade's rather intriguing. No clear winner makes me think. I like those rather than BS ones that you know right away would never happen, which is half the ones on fan sites. From Steve. Hey, you know what? If we can make you think, which I knew isn't a daily occurrence, but if we can do it, then hey, we've done our job. So there you go. Gregor, my only one question would be: does New Jersey have too many small forwards? From John. John, that is a very fair point. I look at New Jersey and I've argued that. And so that could be a very strong point to say, you know what? I'm not doing it. Outside of Timo Meier, right? Mercer's okay size, but, you know, Jesper Bratt, Jack Hughes, you know, Connor Brown's not overly big. So that's definitely something they could probably use. But I think they're looking and say, hey, maybe we can get that elsewhere. But we can get in a guaranteed, you know, top 4 forward for a guy. Because I'm not sure. Now, it all depends on what other deals will be offered, but San Jose is a team that really wants defense. They've got Misa, and they've got Celebrini, and they got Smith. They got their young guys, even Eklund. I think if I'm San Jose, I look at Toronto. What did Toronto do? They had too many forwards and not enough good defensemen. So if I have to give up one of those forwards, I'm doing it. That's why I picked San Jose in our first Tuesday trade, because if you're trying to build your team, you can look at what's a mistake. You can't just have all forwards. You have to have some diversity. And right now, like Mark Medulin, you know, he might become a player, but he's definitely not a guy yet that you're, you know, for sure locked in to say, okay, this guy's ready to be a top pair D-man for us, right? And like, I know they like Sam Dickinson. He's good too, but he's really young. And most D-men take some time. And so other than that, they don't have that. And so Nemec, he's a younger D-man, but he's already established himself as a for sure top 4 NHL defenseman. He played 19 minutes a night in New Jersey. He's top 4 D-man. Maybe in San Jose, he gets even more minutes because he's going to get power play time, etc. So he definitely is going to be a top 4 guy. There's no question in my mind in San Jose. And I don't disagree with Donnie P when he suggests that he could be a number 2. It's very plausible for sure. Now, let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. Founded in 2009. They do neighborhood renewal projects, still in new street lighting systems, directional drilling, hydrovacing, and more. That is All Star Construction, proud to be in your community. And some stats of the day for you today. We got a lot of them. As I mentioned, the month of June is just wild. We talked about this off the start, but how many months have this diversity in top-end sports, titles, championships, etc.? Stanley Cup starts tonight. NBA starts tomorrow night. Then you got the NBA draft June 23rd and 4th, the NHL draft June 26th and 27th. CFL season kicks off on Thursday. U.S. Women's Open June 4th to 7th. The men's U.S. Open in golf 2 weeks later, June 18th to 21st. We have the French Women's Open this Saturday. The Men's Open final will be on Sunday. We're going to see first-time champs in both. We also have the Wimbledon starting on June 29th. Of course, it'll be finished up in July, but still, it's unique that it's starting in the same month as the French Open is finishing. We're going to have the World Cup, men's soccer, starting June 11th. You have the 24-hour of Le Mans, June 13th and 14th. The Monaco Grand Prix, which if you're an F1 fan, that's for a lot of people, even though it's kind of a boring race, it's still pretty prestigious and definitely probably the richest race going. So there's lots going on. Now, speaking of the French Open, How many consecutive Grand Slams has it been since an American won a Grand Slam of tennis? Have any guesses, Connor Halley? Because it's guaranteed that it won't be an American man again now that TFO lost. How many consecutive straight Grand Slams since the last American won?
On both sides?
The American men.
Man, oh, jeez. 15.
89.
Like Sampras?
Andy Roddick was the last American man to win the Grand Slam of tennis. A major. So, whew. He won it in the U.S. Open in 2003. It's a wild stat, isn't it? Because honestly, I was like, I'm going through my head. Oh, yeah. But then you think about it, like, you had the Joker, you had Rafa, right? You had Federer. They dominated. Andy Murray. Like, they were dominated for a long time. Roddick hasn't won. No American man has won since 2003. And hey, imagine Felix winning. That'd be awesome. They'd have a Canadian winning before an American. Fantastic stuff on the men's side. How about this as we get to the Stanley Cup final? The Carolina Hurricanes had 14 more wins than Vegas in the regular season. That is the largest gap between Stanley Cup finalists since 2002, when Detroit had 16 more than the Carolina Hurricanes. The Wings won that one in 5. So now some would say, regular season doesn't matter. And in a way it doesn't. But sometimes it can give you, if you look at some underlying numbers and look at a lot of different things, it can give you a little sense of maybe what to expect. So Carolina was clearly a better regular season team, and they're 12-1 in the playoffs. And in those 12 wins, they have absolutely kicked the crap out of their opposition. Hasn't even been close in those wins. Like, not when they've only allowed 15 goals in their 12 victories in the playoffs. And they've scored 40. So they're 40-15 goals for, goals against in their 12 wins. And then, of course, 6-2 in the solo loss against Montreal after they had an 11-day break. So there you go. Also, Vegas joins a very unique club. There is only 7 franchises in NHL history who have made 3 or more Stanley Cup final appearances in the first 9 years of the franchise. Vegas, of course, this is it. You got to go way back to the early days of the original Ottawa Senators, 1918 to 1926. They went 3 times. The Boston Bruins from 1925 to 1933 went 3 times, went 1 and 2. The St. Louis Blues, first 3 years in an expansion team. But remember, it's a little bit of an asterisk because when the league expanded to 12 teams, they put the 6 existing teams in one side and the 6 expansion teams on the other. I still can't believe the league did that. Like, after 1 year, you might have said, this isn't a good idea. But that's what they did. And so St. Louis made it to the Cup final every year and didn't win a game in the Cup final every year because they weren't that good. Philadelphia from 1968 to 1976 went 2-1, winning, of course, back-to-back cups in the mid-70s. The New York Rangers debuted in 1927, and they went to 4 Stanley Cup finals, going 2-2 between 1927 and 1935. And there's only one team in NHL history that made 5 Stanley Cup appearances in their first 9 years, the Edmonton Oilers. From 1980 to 1988, they went 5 times, and they went 4-1. They lost in 83, then they won in 84, 85, 87, and 88. And then, of course, won it again. So they had 6 in their first 11, which Ottawa can't do. So no one's going to be able to. I'd have to look at the Rangers, and they didn't go twice in their in the next 2 years either. So no one's catching them. Philadelphia obviously didn't do it either after that. So, there's a few that, like the start of the Oilers, as great as Vegas was and as an expansion team, Edmonton come from the WHA. And yes, the sale of Gretzky helped. There's no doubt. But their scouting is what got them those Stanley Cups. If you just, the Oilers made a lot of mistakes in certain eras. They did not make any mistakes drafting in their early years. Yes, you had Gretzky, but you look at their first draft, Kevin Lowe, Mark Messier, Glenn Anderson. Not bad. Next year, who are we going to draft? Oh, how about Paul Coffey and Yari Curry? Oh, and Andy Moog and Walt Podubny, who had a pretty good NHL career. And then the next year, hello, Grant Fuhr. Hello, Steve Smith. Like, are you kidding me? In a 3-year span, Hall of Famer in Fuhr, Hall of Famer in Coffey, Hall of Famer in Curry, Hall of Famer in Lowe, Messier, Anderson, 6 Hall of Famers, and Andy Moog and Steve Smith, who on the 1990 team was the Oilers' number 1 defenseman. It's one of the greatest 3-year stretches ever for a franchise in drafting. 6 Hall of Famers, another guy who was a number 1 defenseman on your cup-winning team, and another guy who was a really good NHL goalie. Well, not bad. So, as yes, Gretzky helped, but make no mistake, the drafting of those other guys played a major, major role in why, if you were lucky enough to be around in the 80s, you saw, being voted on the greatest team ever. And probably hard to surpass that for sure. 418 here on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We got a lot of trade requests. You know what? Some of them are pretty good. So, you know what? We might do trade Tuesday and Thursday, because really in the month of June, that would only give us 8. So we could have 8 good trades. So keep the trade requests coming. If we use those, we'll give them credit. Some are good. Some are like, come on, that's so one-sided. And usually it's one-sided facing the Oilers. I understand it. But on Trade Tuesdays, we try to make ones that make you go, who would do it? Quick break. When we return here on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Ken Bulke will join us next. When's that Rasmus Anderson contract getting announced? We'll find out.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com. Our new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more. Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shacopedic memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pick for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
The sun's out, the pavement's warm, and that low rumble of a Harley rolling by? Oh yeah, that's calling your name. This is riding season, and if you've been thinking about a new ride, Harley-Davidson of Edmonton has the one that'll get your heart pumping. With a huge selection of new and pre-owned bikes, there's one waiting for you. Whether you're upgrading or just getting started. And while you're there, ask about test rides, because the only way to know is to ride it. For more details, visit Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated since 1980, or at hdedmonton.com.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena, the Silent Ice Center. A new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Rev up for a ride that truly matters. Join the Princess Auto Ride for Dad Edmonton, where hundreds of motorcycles fire up and roll out together in one unforgettable moment. Enjoy a scenic route, great food, amazing prizes, fundraising awards, and a whole community riding shoulder to shoulder. Collect pledges to support prostate cancer research and awareness in the fight against prostate cancer. Ride strong, ride proud to make a difference on Saturday, June 13th, starting at Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku. Register now at ridefordad.ca.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com. Smart, connected, community-driven. Jason Gregor sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Gregor, 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Rent it, run it, get it serviced. Japa Equipment Rentals have you covered from their shop to the job site. Alberta's construction pros have counted on Japa Machinery for rentals and service since 1972. JapaMachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
425, whoo, some big money handed out in Atlanta. Drake London gets a 4-year extension, guaranteed $100 million. He's going to be the 3rd highest paid receiver in the league right now. His contract is 4 years, $141 million, which is basically a $35.25 mil per year with 25 of that guaranteed. So, like, I like Drake London, but oh my God. Now I know that, you know what? Hey, every time it comes in, the salary goes up, so people keep getting paid more, but that is wild, man. Wild stuff. Wild stuff. 425, it's Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, as it's time to go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings. You've been thinking about it. You want commercial on your you want solar on your commercial building? ActionElectrical.net. They can walk you through all of it, where you can apply for grants up to 30% and more at ActionElectrical.net. As Ken Bulkey from Sin Bin in Vegas joins us, where the Vegas Golden Knights, for the 3rd time in 9 seasons, they become the 5th NHL franchise to start with 3 appearances in the Cup Final in the first 9 years. The Rangers had 4, and the Oilers had 5, so it's a pretty impressive group. Ken, and you look at this year's Vegas team compared to 4 years ago. Strength, weaknesses. How do you see this team different or better or worse than the 2023 team?
They're fairly similar. I think they are playing a little bit better offensively right now than they were that year, and they're getting a little bit probably even better goaltending than they got that run, which was very good for Maiden Hill. Defensively, they're kind of playing a similar structure. They're playing the same style of game where they try to make it real difficult on you and then utilize a little bit of the rush game to score that way, use their power play I would say this team has done a little bit more in the offensive zone. They kind of live in the offensive zone a little bit more than that team did 3 years ago.
So you look at this matchup, and both teams' penalty kill has been excellent. Both teams 5-on-5 have been pretty good. Now Vegas has given up a little bit more because Carolina's basically given up nothing. 15 goals in the 12 wins that they've had, Ken. So how do you feel Vegas is going to attack Carolina to try to get some extended zone time and get some goals?
I think the first thing they have to do is you have to stop them from attacking you. Like, that's a problem that the last 3 teams that have played Carolina have had, is they just never really had the puck. So how do you start doing what you need to do offensively? You've got to slow them down. I think breakouts are really important. Hitting them in transition can really slow them down a little bit. If you can open them up in transition, they're going to have to back off a little bit. I don't know that they're going to slow them down at the beginning of the series. I think Carolina is going to come out and play the style that they have to play, and if they want to play, they're going to continue doing that. And the question is, can Vegas react to it? Can they strike back? Can they play that counterattack style? And I think they should be able to do enough of that to eventually get to the point where Carolina maybe has to back off a little bit of some of their aggressiveness, some of their pinches, those types of things. And then the question is, can they go to work offensively once they get that back off? I think for this game, though, it's dealing with the pressure and finding a way through it, and not overexerting themselves. Like they need to be smart, Vegas, in their own end. You can't turn the puck over in your own end. They've got to be smart. Get good breakouts. Take safe breakouts. Ice the puck if you have to. I think they just need to deal with the pressure early in this series, and then as it goes on, they can kind of build their offense.
So you look at Jack Eichel, he's obviously done well. Marner on that second line with Howden and Carlson have done very well. Which line do you think is going to see Jordan Staal? Is it Eichel for sure? And how do you think he's going to? Because Jordan Staal basically just sucked the life out of that top line in Montreal for the most part.
Yep. I look at it 2 ways. So if it were me, if I'm coaching, I think either team, oddly enough, I would go with Staal against Carlson. And if I'm Vegas, I would like Carlson against Staal. Let them kind of cancel each other out. And then that frees up Eichel if you're Vegas. And if you're Carolina, you're saying, I think our top line might be better than their top line when Mark Stone is not on it, which is how it is currently. Mark Stone's currently on the third line with Hurdle. So I think for now and for the beginning, I expect to see Staal, Carlson, and Marner go at each other. I think as it goes on, one side or the other is going to win that battle, and eventually the other side's going to have to change off of it.
Ken Balke joins us here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Ken, we've talked about it a lot. What's the reason why the Rasmus Andersson contract hasn't been announced yet?
From what I understand, it's because they can't put Pietrangelo on LTIR for next season yet. So they can't add the salary for next season because they have enough locked up in the players that are already there. That's the way I understand it. I don't know that that's actually officially true or not. But from everything we've heard, from everything on the ice and off the ice, we've been told the Rasmus Andersson contract is happening for sure. I would be stunned if he's not a Golden Knight next season.
Oh, okay. So basically July 1st at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Mountain.
I think that's right. Yeah.
At 9:01, boom, here's he's announced and away.
Yep.
So that makes some sense. Okay. Lauzon comes in. What do you think he's going to add?
Yeah, he adds a lot of physicality that they did not really get out of Coghlan and Korczak, and Hutton was in there as well. He brings that element of fear that teams have to deal with when he's along the boards. When there's a loose puck, he's going to come in there like a bulldog, and it can be terrifying. And I think he adds a little bit of that physicality that sometimes, at least in the Utah series, it kind of permeated through the Vegas lineup. I don't know that they need to go overly physical in this series. So I think they're more hoping that it kind of just puts everything back in line. Korczak's had a bit of a rough go in the postseason. Hutton wasn't particularly great in his appearances in the postseason. Coghlan's been really good, but he's right-handed, and he was playing on the left with Korczak, who's also right-handed. Now Lauzon comes back in. He's left-handed. He'll go on the left. Korczak goes back on the right. I think it just settles everybody back into the correct position on the right hand, and that's going to help a lot in breakouts. You have to break out against this team, And having a guy on his off wing or on his offside defensively makes that even more difficult. They no longer have that with Ulzon coming back in.
Looking at this series, and Carolina and Bay, they're very similar in how they play, right? Both teams can choke you out. I think both teams got some heavier guys down in the lineup, which are very good, responsible players. So, is there anything that you've dug into that you feel like, hey, here's a matchup that Vegas has to take advantage of?
Yeah, I think the key is going to be how they deal with the rush. So if Vegas slows down the rush, or at least deals with the rush well enough to force Carolina to have to put the puck in deep, I think then if you break out, you're going to catch them on the rush right back. Like most of Montreal's best chances were super dangerous rush chances. Like they would go from having absolutely nothing for a good portion of the game to getting grade A plus looks on the rush. And I think that's where Vegas has to kind of accept that they're not going to have the puck all the time, which the good news for Vegas is they kind of did that quite a bit against Colorado. They definitely did that at the beginning of the series against Anaheim and then grew into getting the puck more and more. I think they can just accept that, like, this is how Carolina's going to play. If we can keep them away from the middle of the ice, they're going to hand offensive chances back. And I think that's going to be how Vegas wins the series if they do go on to win, is taking advantage of Carolina's overly aggressive style and catching them on the rush the other way. Usually when teams play that way, if you give those chances to the Golden Knights, they punish you. They have all postseason long. I think they will in this series as well.
Ken Bolke joins us. Ken, Gary Bettman spoke today. Anything that he says stand out for you?
There was a little bit of talk about the whole Bruce Cassidy thing and not being allowed to interview with other teams. The league stood behind the Golden Knights pretty firmly, saying it's in his contract. They have the contractual rights to do this. They also used the ridiculous excuse that I do not understand why anyone is accepting this, that the Golden Knights are in the middle of a Stanley Cup run and that it's too much of a distraction. I don't understand why you can't double tap on a text with a thumbs up and say, yes, we give you permission to. I don't get it. But they use that one again. There was one thing that I found kind of interesting, and this is me reading between the lines quite a bit, but at the very end of it, Bill Daly made a comment, something along the lines of that once this playoff run is over, they will see where everything falls and how everything settles. And it kind of, to me, was like, yeah, everyone just deal with this for now. Eventually, they're going to give the opportunity to interview. I would be shocked if he isn't granted the permission, just because the precedent it sets. And I don't think the Golden Knights are going to want to pay 2 head coaches next year. Like Bruce Cassidy's making somewhere near $5 million. I don't think they're going to do that just to block him from going somewhere else. I don't think they can afford it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think they look good because they're not paying him right now, right? Like there's no
Correct.
urgency for it. We saw Colorado. Look what happened with them and the Nashville Predators. Colorado gets knocked out of the playoffs, and then a few days later. Now, McFarland was actually working for the team, so a little bit different. But I agree with you. It doesn't make any sense, the excuse. But I do think once the Stanley Cup's over, within a few days, probably after their parade, they'll make that announcement.
Yeah, and I think from the Golden Knights' perspective, it makes sense to just sit there and make everyone wait. It just makes life a little bit more difficult. And who knows? Like, we just had Colorado making changes. What if that job opens up? Seems like it's not. From what I've read today, Bednar's supposedly staying. But if that job opens up, maybe that's more attractive to Bruce Cassidy than Edmonton. And that at least gets them out of the division, doesn't get them out of the conference. What if Carolina were to open up? I don't think that's happening, but what if it were? You might as well be patient when you have the built-in excuse that makes no sense, but for whatever reason, we all have to buy it.
Yeah, very true. Ken, enjoy the series. What's your prediction?
I've got Vegas in 5. I think they're going to crush them on the rush. I really think they're going to get chance after chance after chance of slowing them down and hitting them the other way. And you're going to be like, wow, this Vegas team looks super fast. And then look up and realize they only have 14 shots.
Wow. All right. It'll be fun to see, man. We look forward to it. Appreciate your time.
You got it. Thanks for having me.
There you go. That's Ken Bolke. Everybody, you know what? Let's do a rough kind of unofficial text line prediction. Team and games. Well, who do the Sports 1440 listeners, who do you like to win? Very simple. The team and in how many games? Vegas, Carolina, 4, 5, 6, or 7. Let's see what the audience is feeling. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break. We got 5 questions when we return to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Mr. Rooter buries evidence in the desert.
I didn't mean to do it. I was forced into it. Yeah, forced. But now, no one will ever know. You've done well, Mr. Rooter. You did something awful, but you've covered your tracks. It's done. The last transcript that shows I did a semester of electrician school.
Uncover evidence of the proudest plumber, Mr. Rooter.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
A lot of you love hockey season. But when it comes to construction season, you're not as excited unless you work for GS Construction. It's true. As one season is winding down, ours is winding up with all sorts of great projects to make the city we live in better. And our team is hiring. GS Construction is scouting for pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. So if you want to score a great job, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting non-stop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh, no! A broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Lux Windows was founded in 1969 with 5 people and a dream. 55 years later, Our team of experts cares a whole lot about building and installing the best possible windows and doors. Because Lux is not just an Alberta-made product. We're one big Alberta-made family. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Hockeyology, Edmonton's home for elite hockey development, skating analysis, performance assessment, and year-round training at West Edmonton Mall. Elite hockey development at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Tuesday rolls along. I'm getting lots of texts from people saying the rain has stopped. So nice. We had a good run, but I think we've had our fair share for now. Hopefully it slows down. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Vegas or Carolina, and then how many games? Who do you like? And then we'll give you we'll kind of go through the average on what we're getting from the listeners, as well as we put the question out on text. We'll put it up on our YouTube chat as well, and see a little vote there. See what you think. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, and they announced the exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup. Stop in. You can get up. Also, while you're in there, if you don't want one of the Shaqopedics, don't worry. You can get up to 33% off sofas, love seat, recliners, sectionals, 40% off dining room tables when you buy 4 or more matching chairs right now at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, you ask the listeners. I will ask you, who's winning the cup, how many games, and just for fun, who's your pick for the Conn Smythe?
I will take Carolina, and selfishly, I'd like 7, but I'll say 6. And Hart Trophy. Well, if Carolina's winning, then the Hart Trophy, I think it's probably 2 guys. Well, maybe 3. I'll go Taylor Hall.
All right. I took Vegas yesterday, so I'll stick with them. I'll say in 7, and Mitch Marner. And then we have some fun storylines, and we can all laugh at a certain fan base. Question number 2 for you. Do you like the Malhotra hire in Vancouver, and do you think he gets them back into the playoffs as a head coach?
He's probably the right guy for where the organization's going. And no, I do not think so, because I think Vancouver is heading into a long rebuild, and very few coaches last the entire time. So I will say negative.
I'm with you. I like the hire, like you said, for this team and what they have coming up here. But just in that division, there's some good teams that are on the rise that I don't think they will surpass in the next 3-4 years. And I feel like that's kind of the average time now for a head coach. They don't have the leash that they once had. So I will say he's not there to get them back into the playoffs. So we saw the final votes for the Norris Trophy. Of course, Zach Werenski winning. Did any votes, anyone surprise you when you look at the total there?
Well, I was actually surprised Cale Makar got that many first place votes. To be honest, I don't. I think Bouchard and Werenski had better years than him. I really did, and I could probably. And okay, Cale Makar had a really good year. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just talking first place votes. And the one guy I don't think deserved any was Quinn Hughes. Like, look at his numbers in Vancouver. That's half the year. So yeah, I'd probably actually say Hughes even more so. Like, how does he get a first place vote? You're going to put him ahead of Bouchard, Makar, Werenski, Hudson, and Seider and Deline? Like, come on. There's no way he had a better year than all 6 of those guys. Give me a break.
Yeah, that was the one that stood out to me. Like 5 voters thought he deserved to be top spot. Like
I can guess. We'll go see when they come public.
Yeah,
be looking.
I have a guess that maybe there wasn't much watching and just kind of looking at the past, because that just seems crazy to me. I always like the guys at the bottom, like someone who had Adam Fox as a fifth spot in there.
Well, he was almost a point a game player. He just missed a lot of time.
Yeah, to me, and then like, who was it? It doesn't matter. It's just a throwaway vote at that point. But he and McAvoy just getting a couple, I find interesting, kind of comedic. Question number 3 or 4 for you: who would be your pick this year for the CFL MOP?
Go ahead.
There is one I would think would be the favorite, but I'm going to take Davis Alexander for the Montreal Alouettes, assuming he can stay healthy. This guy does not lose in the regular season. So if he stays healthy, I don't think he's the favorite, but I'll go Davis Alexander. And I hope that Rankin puts himself in contention. Full season of big plays that we know he's capable of. I think he'll be in the discussion, but I think it goes quarterback.
Yeah, it always seems to go quarterback, and I think if he stays healthy, just the way they throw it, I think it's going to be hard for anybody to beat Nathan Rourke.
Final question today. On this day in 2002, The Wire was released on HBO. It's on my bucket list of TV shows to watch. So let me ask you, what are the top 3 shows that you intend to watch in the future?
Top 3 shows I intend to watch that I haven't watched?
Haven't watched, like your bucket list of TV shows. I know bucket list seems a little more serious. This is just TV shows.
I can't even think of a TV show that I haven't watched that I want to watch. Like, how would I know it's good? Like I guess, like, could it be like season 2 of an upcoming one? Like, give me your answers first, because maybe I'm misinterpreting the question.
Well, so for me, like The Wire is there. I haven't seen it. I've heard it's so good.
Oh, okay.
It's a show
best shows I haven't watched.
I have to watch it one day. Another one, like just stick with HBO, Succession is one that I've never really gotten into. So that's one that I would like to at some point watch. And, I've never seen Band of Brothers. So that would be another one. I'm just going all HBO. You don't have to follow my footsteps. But Band of Brothers is, I think, another one that I need to watch. So those would be mine.
See, it's funny. Like, for me, if I haven't watched the TV show now, I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, if I'd want to. Well, I would say I would like to watch the English version of The Office. I've never seen that, and it's only 2 years. So, because I don't have a ton of time to get. Like, I've already got a lot of shows I like. It's hard to add new shows. So I'll go The Office. I never watched Breaking Bad, but there's no chance I'm going to get into it right now. So I don't think so. There is a TV show called Sugar that I've heard good things about, and there's only 1 season. So I'm trying to, and I wish I could commit to it because I watched a little bit of it, Cons, but Boardwalk Empire, I would like to watch again.
Yeah.
I watched part of it, and then I don't know what happened, but life got in the way. And so I guess if I had like some binge-free time, Boardwalk Empire.
Did you watch Deadwood? I know you're a fan of the Westerns.
Oh, yeah.
Would you recommend that?
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Okay.
But I thought it was good. Like, to me, it started out really strong, and then after a while, it was kind of like me. But it is only 3 years, so Cons, that's why you would like it.
Yeah,
it's only 3 years, so
a quick watch.
Yeah, year 3 for me at times got a little predictable. That was it, but I really loved season 1.
Okay, that's another one for me. I want to watch. There's a lot on my list.
Like, there's good corruption, right? Like, hey, corruption's been around, man, since the test of time. Unfortunately, been around a long time. But Deadwood has like some really, really good characters in it. What's his name? Oh God. What's his name in the show again? Is it Al? I think his name's Al. I know that doesn't sound great, but I'm pretty sure it's Al.
If I look it up, Ian McShane.
Oh,
yeah.
buddy, yeah, he's unreal. Yeah. Is this character Al?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Al Swearingen?
Swearingen, I think, right? Swearingen, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, he was there's a lot of good like actors that are in that have gone on, like just ones that I look at and I kind of like what's his name? What's the actor's name? Like, he's really good playing a bad guy. The bald guy, Dayton Cali. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Sons of Anarchy too.
Yes. Yeah.
Cop.
Yeah, he's good in it. So, and the other guy, Oliphant, Timmy.
Yeah,
he's good. So
he's the good-looking salesman from The Office. Stood Pam up or something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Nice. We got a lot of texts coming in. 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, my husband and I started Succession. It's really good even now. Oh, yeah. Succession is pretty good. It's like the thing about Succession that I find was good or bad was I'm like, it's really hard to find a character that I liked. And if I did like him, it was fleeting. Like, Roman's funny, but even at times they're like, God, like the dad, obviously, like Kendall, no, didn't like him, didn't like Shiv. Tom, okay for a while. Greg, you're thinking, I could like Greg, but then even then, it's like, God, he's kind of annoying. Like they all went through up and down times, right? Like Connor was hilarious because he was such kind of a clown. But Succession is like, it's ruthless. And so it's a little bit unrealistic, I would think. Like, now, I don't know. Obviously, I've never been in a family of that much money, right? Like there's money and then there's their money, right? So it's just, I don't think they had a grasp of reality, but maybe that's how it is when you're in the upper echelons of billionaires like they are. Like, I don't know. I can't relate to it. So, but it's a good show. Like there's lots of reasons, cons, that I could see why I'd be like, you know what? I get into that movie. Or sorry, TV show. I get into it pretty heavily.
I like the theme song too.
Okay.
That was the star for me. Yeah, and the episodes I have seen, I'm only 2 or 3 in. I get what you're saying. Like a lot of them have off-putting qualities.
When you watch the Wire cons, are you going to, because here's the thing. I know they're speaking English. I still had to use subtitles at first to really, I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, am I the only one? I felt like I couldn't really understand it. I was like, God, I really got to focus here.
Baltimore? That's where it's set?
Yeah, but it was just, I don't know if it was how they recorded it or not, but season 1 at times, I felt like, I'm like, what did I miss? And then rewinding it. So finally I just said, screw it. And I put on the subtitles. Plus I find if subtitles are on for me, I'm paying way more attention. Like I'm locked in.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. You have to read along with it, right?
So I do like a lot of because you can watch on Netflix a lot of the shows in their native language, or you can just put it in the English. But the English voice just never sounds great, right? It doesn't sound very good. So I always like watch them with the subtitles, even though I know they're in Spanish or Italian or whatever. And then I find I just pay more attention. So
Money Heist would be the one for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
Money
the voices just didn't go.
Yeah.
With it.
Because I watched it first with subtitles, and then I was like, oh, I could watch it in English. And then I'm like, no, the English voice is terrible compared to the other one. Like the real voice and then reading the subtitles. Yes. Way, way better. So hey, tell Connor the best TV Western is Hell on Wheels. That is pretty good. The TV one cons, Hell on Wheels was good. But also 1883, 1923, like those ones, they were awesome too.
Now, could you watch that without watching Yellowstone?
Yes,
yeah?
totally.
Okay.
Yeah, you can easily go back and watch 1883 first and then watch 1923. Yes, no problem. It's not going to impact it at all. So going so far early on, everybody, most people have picked Carolina seems to have the lead right now amongst our listeners. Probably not a surprise because I think a few of you are like, I hate Vegas, which is totally fair. I get it. I like it. I know Carolina, you might have a hate, but that was 20 years ago. No one in the franchise, other than the head coach now, he was playing, is still connected to that team, right? I guess in a way, there's the brother because there was Eric Stahl and now Jordan, but that would really be the only connections to it. So, hey guys, I think they're coming out with a 1943 or 46 as a new series. Ooh, that'll be all right. Yeah, I like that series. Like Yellowstone to me, I couldn't watch it at the end. Like just too many unbelievable characters where I'm like, there's no way you'd get away with that. Even in like, you think you're super tough world, like it's not happening. So there's too many, like best character, just, it was too much. It's way, way over the top. Way over the top. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. The June road trip ready event is on. Their biggest sale of the year. You can enter for a chance to win free gas for the summer and weekly prizes like detailing packages, free tires, and get the 1995 multi-point vehicle inspection to ensure you're road trip ready. NorthgateGM.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final goes tonight from Raleigh, North Carolina. Canes and Golden Knights puck drop just after 6 o'clock. Also today, Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Werenski named the winner of the Norris Trophy. The Nashville Predators confirming the hiring of former Avs GM Chris McFarland as their GM and president of hockey operations. Meanwhile, in Colorado, Joe Sakic will hold the GM duties for the foreseeable future, and the NHL confirming a new format for the 2027 All-Star Game on Long Island. The annual event will consist of 5 teams: Canada, Finland, U.S., Sweden, and 1 world team competing in a 3-on-3 round-robin exhibition tournament. Major League Baseball today, the Jays in Atlanta taking on the Braves in about 20 minutes. We'll join that game in progress following the Jason Gregor Show on our AM feed. Currently, Tigers up on the race 2-0 in the second. We've also got the Padres, Phillies, Red Sox, Orioles, Marlins, Nationals, all scoreless. Later tonight, Yankees host the Guardians. Rangers get St. Louis. Cubbies taking on the Athletics. The Dodgers meet the Diamondbacks, and the Mariners hosting the Mets. Riverhawks in action on the road in Victoria, taking on the Harbor Cats. That'll get going at 7:35. And from the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons signing star wide receiver Drake London to a 4-year extension worth $141 million, 83 of which is guaranteed. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet, Derek Dendies from NHL.com, and we'll get to Cam Pace 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Your weekend hotspot is at On the Rocks.
Party with Edmonton's best bands every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And we got them all.
From the Varkels to Tallboy, Radioactive, Curves, the Brute Squad, Morningwood, Rockzilla, Punch Buggy, and more.
Plus, the guy who keeps the party going every weekend. DJ Kenny K on the 1s and 2s, live.
Get ready to have a good time this weekend.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Jasper Ave and 118th.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shaq-heated memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
From the first face-off to the final, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk. With live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows, we bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7, only on Sports 1440, Edmonton's sports station.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on. Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power. But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Fucking fast up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh no, a broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through Tuesday afternoon, the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca. And of course, Lotto Max tonight, $10 million and 10 prizes of $100,000. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. NHL Stanley Cup. The puck drops in about an hour and 15 minutes time. Tonight, you also have the Jays on the road against the best team in baseball, the Atlanta Braves. You've got other full slate of games in the Major Leagues of Baseball tomorrow night. The NBA final gets going. So we got NHL, NBA tonight, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and it's going to be a busy time, which is fantastic, as it's time to get to the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists, and they are hiring right now, looking for pipe layers, operators, top men, and more. gsconstruction.ca/careers. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Also, CFL season kicks off on Thursday. The Elks play their first game on Saturday, and we'll see what happens there. But Spec, it is Stanley Cup tonight. What you've thought everything else? What's your pick? Who do you like, and why?
I like Carolina. I think it's their time, Jay. I think they've they're like everybody else. They've been waiting for Florida to step aside because they couldn't beat Florida either. And I just think they've had a good program for a long time. They're a good team. They're organized. They've won. They've proven themselves consistently over several years to be one of the top teams out east. They haven't been able to quite get there, and they're there now. I think it's their time. I think they'll win it. I'm going to say 5 games.
Ooh, all right.
What about you? Who are you picking?
I pick Carolina. The boring 6 games, but I'd like it to go 7, but I think it might be a 6er. So we'll see. I like. I think it's going to be close. I don't expect blowouts in many of the games. I'm not expecting a ton of goals. I'm really hoping I'm wrong on that, though. I just both of these teams have been very good at limiting their opposition to scoring very much.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, and it's none of us love this, but the teams that keep the puck out of their net the best, the teams that defend the best, advance the furthest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just our sport, like it or not. When are the Oilers at their very best and most dangerous, Jay? When they're killing penalties, when they're keeping the puck out of their net, when they're playing excellent defense. That's when we look at that Oilers team and go, hey, man, this team could win the cup. When they're playing like they played against Anaheim and there's chance, we go, this is fun, but it ain't effective. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not saying I love this about hockey, but I know it to be true. The team, it's pitching and defense, man, wins championships, and it's no different in hockey.
Yeah, that can be very true for the most part. And Although Florida did score a ton of goals when they won. So it always
They did.
helps. Yeah. I look at some other news today. Gary Bettman says, well, it's not right away, but he announced today, hey, I can't do this forever, and a succession plan is in place. I know a lot of people think it's automatically going to be Bill Daly, but I'm wondering if Bill Daly is like that's only a guy to come in for a few years.
Yeah.
He's probably not a long-term solution either.
Yeah, I think 10 years ago it would have been Bill Daly for sure. And I think, Bill Daly probably thought 10 years ago that he's tapping his foot a little bit saying, when's it going to be my turn? But I think I agree with you. If Bill Daly comes in now, I don't even know how old Bill is, but geez, I don't know. How old is Bill?
I'm going to look it up right now. Bill Daly.
I'm guessing here. But
yeah, he is. He's 62.
62. Okay. But, first of all, Bill's completely deserving, smart guy, good guy. His work is excellent. He could do the job. But I kind of feel like, it's sort of like maybe the sport needs a guy at least in his 50s or 40s. How about that? And I'm not sure who that person is, frankly. But whoever that person is, they probably could use Bill Daly around on their right hand to let them sort of help them work themselves into this thing. But, it's same with Silver in the NBA. He's been around forever. I mean, both those leagues could use a breath of younger and fresher air, don't you think?
Yeah. I do think that is something for sure. But I could also see Bill Daly, because of all his hard work, they're saying, hey, now, because there's, I heard a conspiracy is probably too strong of a word, but people saying, there's lots of people talking about, they got to go to 1-8, and Gary Bettman's like, no. And Gary Bettman's like, well, I'm going to let the new commissioner do it because if that's what people want, even though I've looked up all the numbers spec going back to 1-8, all it does is change it. And it doesn't mean anything better. And I'd argue that the data would tell you that it will lead to less competitive series. And I crunched all the numbers in the salary cap era. The current format has been infinitely better at having more competitive series.
Well, I'll tell you how they make their decision. And this is not a great revelation, Jay. Whatever system gives them more games, i.e. more gates, is the system they'll choose.
Yeah.
That's the system they want. And I'll say this to you, the system that gives you more games means that series are going longer. Why do series go longer? Because they're more competitive. Why are they more competitive? Because you got a better system. So to be honest, the system that gives you the most games is going to be the best system. Yes, we've had some uncompetitive, non-competitive conference finals the last few years. Stuff happens. I don't know if there's a reason for that. Montreal beat Buffalo and Tampa. Those are two good teams, man. And then they just couldn't handle Carolina. Edmonton beats Dallas in 6, then they beat them in 5. Dallas was very deserving of being in both those finals. Why did Edmonton win in 5? I don't know. And who the hell thought Vegas was going to win in 4 this year? Absolutely nobody. So I don't know if you want to overanalyze this. Like, are you telling me Colorado doesn't deserve to be in a conference final? Is that what someone's trying to say here? I mean, come on. They won a President's Trophy. So I don't know. I'm a little tired of the argument. I think it's kind of dumb. I like the system they have. And if it produces the most games, then that's your answer. That's the one they're going to keep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, and honestly, it's the one that's the most competitive. Everyone's like, oh, you have 2 good teams in the first round. I'm like, yeah, do your math there. Jabroni, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 have historically been 100-point teams as well. Because usually there's 6 teams, 4 or 5 at least. With 100 points. So it's and there's definitely going to be more 100-point teams now because there's 2 extra games. So it's going to basically be 100 points to make the playoffs moving forward with the 2 extra games. I would guess.
Right. Yeah. We play 82 and now 84 games. There's, Boston's got 2 points more than Philadelphia. And we're telling you there's any difference at all between the 2 teams. Like, there isn't, right? There isn't any difference. It's somebody won on Tuesday night in February and the other team lost. That's the difference.
Yeah, no, it's very true. There's a few things Bettman did address very shortly, the Cassidy thing spec, but watching what happened to Nashville and Colorado today, we'd heard about the rumblings of Nashville and Colorado for a while, and then boom, Colorado gives permission, and within 24 hours, McFarland's the new president of hockey operations and the GM in Nashville. I firmly believe that something like that is going to be similar with the Edmonton Oilers when this playoff run is over and the Vegas Golden.
Well, I mean, the only disparity in those two scenarios is Chris McFarland is moving upwards to a bigger position. He is getting a promotion, right? Bruce Cassidy is not getting a promotion unless the Oilers want to hire him as, head coach and, the guy who serves drinks in Kate's suite. There's no promotion there. So that's the only difference. Listening to Gary Bettman today and Bill Daly, they are not arguing that anybody has any leg to stand on in terms of fighting this thing. No, if there was an argument, we'd have heard it by now. I said to you yesterday, Jay, Kelly McCrimmon has all the cards. I agree with you. I think in the end, he'll relent and he'll let Cassidy go work somewhere else. But when Bettman and Daly both come out and say, we can't do anything about this, I mean, you got to take them at face value. They're lawyers. If they thought there was an angle, they'd be playing it. There isn't one.
Yeah, I don't think they like it just to, holding out. And the other thing is, and we had Ken Balke on, he goes, he doesn't think that Vegas wants to pay 2 coaches next season, right? Like right now, they're not paying anybody. So it's easy to delay it. But, and then they might try to delay to make it uncomfortable. But I bet you, Spec, that we will see something happen here once and I won't be surprised that once the Stanley Cup final is over, maybe if Vegas wins after the parade, because they have to focus on the parade, and then once the parade's over, that's what they'll do. So,
yeah, and you know what? If I would say to you that Kelly McCrimmon is stretching the bounds of sportsmanship, let's say, in handling this the way he's handling it. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Stan Bowman and the Edmonton Oilers are stretching the bounds of sportsmanship as well. Has someone somehow, some way reached out to Cassidy and said, look, man, we got a job for you. We'll take you. We'll hire you. Just hang in there for us till this thing passes through. That would be illegal. That would be tampering. Have the Oilers done it? I don't know. Right? That would be tampering. That would be sort of, we know there's always different forms of tampering in the NHL. Have the Oilers put any word out to Cassidy? I can't tell you they have. But it would be a little bit of a stretch of how you're supposed to handle things. Has McCrimmon done the exact same thing? Pretty much, pretty much. So you want to play with the rules? I'll play with the rules. What does Carius always say? Right? Lie to your friends, I'll lie to mine, but don't lie to each other. I think it's one of those deals, if you ask me.
Yeah, in today's world of communication, tell me how they could monitor if Bruce Cassidy spoke to the Oilers. Honestly, tell me how they're going to do it, right?
Well, the same way they monitor all those guys that sign huge deals on July 1st at 12:01 p.m.
Like bingo, right? Gee, you know what? We worked really quick on this. Stayed up all night to have a good package made in 4 minutes. What? Okay.
How'd that happen? Yeah.
And hey, I don't mind it. Whatever. Just don't, well, I don't want to say the adage because it's a little too crude, but anyway, I think a lot of people, when it comes to the rain one, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Anywho, last night, Team Canada, big crowd and pouring rain. And it's just like, the growth of soccer obviously is massive, Spec. There's no doubt. And it's something, I think now maybe more than ever, it's not lost to me. The fact there's lots of people who want to support Canada, especially here in Alberta. There's way more who want to support Canada than aren't. And that's just a fact. And I look at that crowd last night and I look at Canada's team, and you know what? Here's the second. We're 10 days away from starting the World Cup, and Canada's got a legit chance to get through to the elimination round, which is fantastic and something that's really never happened before in the Men's World Cup.
They got a thing with Edmonton too. They come here, we give them Edmonton weather. We gave them that Ice Teca game here, whatever. How many years ago was that now? Holy cow, 21, I think. They come here last night. It's cold and it's wet, man. It's been raining here for 3 days. And you know what? The team delivers. Like I'm sure it's not a lot of fun playing soccer in that weather, but you know what? They get in the spirit of it. They give the fan here shows up. They put in 46,000 people on a lousy night to see an exhibition game. And the team answers you by scoring a couple goals and winning a game. They beat Mexico back in the day here in that snow game. And I kind of dig the relationship. Like, I think, you know what, the Edmonton fan does their part, man. they show up at games, and it's not a. Sometimes when they play a friendly in Toronto, 3/4 of the crowd is cheering for the other team because this, Toronto's a big city full of people that immigrated from a lot of places. That's not the case here. They come here, they cheer for Canada. There's 46,000 of them on a lousy, cold, rainy, wet night. And the team delivers a nice win. So I dig the relationship. Edmonton's always had going back to that women's tournament years ago, Edmonton's always had a great relationship with the Canadian national soccer team programs. And I'll tell you what, the Edmonton fan does their part, boy. They buy their tickets and they show up and they make noise, and it doesn't matter what the weather is. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly. With that, Spec, one last one for you. As we get into June, we're doing Trade Tuesdays, and so we were talking earlier about a Nemec and Eklund trade between San Jose and New Jersey. So before July 1st, do you believe the Edmonton Oilers make a trade that's not just draft picks at the draft?
Before July 1st, it's not just a draft pick trade. I'd say this. I mean, are they going to? I know I don't sit on the fence in these things. I got to say yes or no. Stan Bowman's pitching a couple, so yes. I think Stan Bowman is pitching a couple of trades, fairly decent trades. I'm not going any further than that right now, but I think he is. And I'm going to say, sure, he pulls one of them off before the draft. Why not?
All right. Okay. That could be a good fodder for the sports radio. So I like it. Spec, enjoy the series tonight and puck drop in about an hour's time.
All right, man. Looking forward to it.
There you go. That's the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. We'll return. I think our next guest is actually, I think he might be in Carolina. We'll talk about it next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
I've got some good news if you've been thinking about a heavy-duty truck. The 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express is now at St. Albert Dodge. You've got 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, body color, bumpers and grille, and a Sport Performance hood. Available in all the colors for $68,990. Plus, new this year, Ram's best-in-class 10-year powertrain warranty. Now's the time. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.523, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely day. Hey, good news. Keep getting reports. We're inside here, West End Mall in the Sports 1440 studios. Always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca that the rain has stopped. So hopefully it'll peter out. And maybe move to somewhere else because there's probably other parts that need a little precipitation, but we've had our fair share here, right? It's, sometimes where you feel like you've just, like, you know what? I can't have another drink. I'm done. It's kind of what the ground's saying. Okay, no moss right now. We're a little saturated. Fields are water's pooling everywhere. The only really terrible negative about this, hopefully your basement didn't flood because that's brutal. I grew up in a house where the basement flooded a few times, and my room was in the basement. It was never great. But the flooding sucks, but also mosquitoes are going to flourish because of this. Brutal. We've had pretty good mosquito summers last year, but this one, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, but something tells me we'll be having an influx of mosquitoes. So we'll see. 524. Let's get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it. Your color, your brand, over 73 locations, 33 brands to choose from. GoAuto.ca. Is Derek Van Dies from NHL.com. Joins us. DVD, how you doing?
Good, Jason. How are you doing today?
Oh, man, I am all right. I know, of course, do you miss covering the Stanley Cup Finals? Haven't been there for the last few years?
Well, the Stanley Cup final, I was... I'll be going in Vegas for game 3 and 4, so I'll still be covering the final. Yeah, so I'm just So we got our Eastern people in Carolina today, and I'm the Western guy, so I'll be picking up the final 3 and 4, which will be fun. I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun getting down there and covering the final. But yeah, it's a little different when your team's not in it. Like the last couple of years have been. Been quite exciting with the Oilers in the Stanley Cup final. This is exciting in its different sense, I guess. But yeah, I will be picking up the final when it gets to Vegas.
So you look at that at series, and there's lots of different angles. And I'm thankfully it hasn't been a week long wait, but I'm still like, okay, let's get playing here. I want to go, because I'll be honest, I'm just so tired of the Mitch Marner wins in Toronto tears. I'm just like, end it already. Like, it's such a lame narrative, man. Like. Just because, people trying to blow, Mitch Marner, he was great before. No, he wasn't. He was not great before. He's great right now. Awesome. But he was not a difference maker when it mattered in Toronto. So that's a fact. And now he is in Vegas. Great. Why? That's a great question. But I think I find it irritating both ways that, he's got to win because he wasn't in Toronto because somehow it's about Toronto. And then B, he was great. It was just Toronto was bad. No, that's not true.
No, it's not true either, but I do think Vegas is a little deeper than Toronto was. So I do think so I do think in Toronto's case, if Marner and Matthews, and those guys weren't scoring, they weren't winning. And I think the issue is here. You look at the Vegas lineup. They got so many guys. You got Eichel, Dorofeev is scoring a lot of goals. Howden suddenly become this great goal scorer in the playoffs. He's kind of got what Fernando Pisani caught in 2006, and he seems to be scoring every other game. So I just think that one, there's less pressure on him there, and two, I think the surrounding cast is just a little deeper than it was in Toronto. They don't need him to kind of carry the ball every game, and he's playing a lot freer, a lot looser, and I think that has something to do with it. But to me, this Vegas team has really come together at the right time. Their injuries, William Karlsson coming back was actually a huge thing for this Vegas team, because then you can slot him in the second center spot, move Marner out to the wing, and then everyone kind of slots where they're supposed to be. So I think that's big. Obviously, Carter Hart's having a great playoff so far. Defensively, the Vegas is still big, strong defenseman that's tough to get to the net. And I think that's the big thing with them, is that you can't get to the net on them. You can't get rebounds. You can't get second opportunities. And they've always kind of been that way. They've always been big, strong, mobile defensemen. And to me, that's what's been the key to their success right now, is that you have trouble getting to the net, and they just won't let anyone get there for a rebound or a second chance opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't discount that Vegas is deeper, but the difference is Marner is producing, right? He's got 9 points, right? So, yeah, any team wins when your best players produce. Eichel's scoring. Now, sure, it helps to have a Howden kind of come out of nowhere a little bit, right? Dorofeev was their best goal scorer in the regular season, and he's scoring. The difference is, in Toronto, Mitch Marner did nothing, especially late in series. Like, that doesn't change and disappear because his team's better. The fact of the matter is he didn't score, right? Especially games like 5, 6, and 7 all those years. And I don't care who your team is. It's very hard to win series when your best guys aren't producing. Vegas is winning because he's producing, right? And so are the other guys. And I think it's probably a little bit of, hey, a change of scenery helps. I also think you go to Vegas, you've got a boatload of guys in that team that have won before. And I think Marner, there's just a better understanding of what it takes to win in the playoffs. And that's something he learned probably a little bit by osmosis, being around a group that's won before.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, Jason. I think you're absolutely right there, because you look at the way Vegas closed out series. It was like very experienced, and like, okay, we got these guys on the ropes, and they just put them away. They put away Utah, they put away Anaheim, they put away Colorado. Like, there was no doubt that they were going to win those clinching games. And I think that comes from the experience of winning cups, going far in the playoffs, having all this playoff experience. And I think, yeah, that does help. That does help when you have guys that have been there, done that, know what it takes. And like I said, right now, it just looks like they're really rolling right now. They're healthy now. They're getting some players back. I think Lausanne's coming back tonight. So they're really healthy. And I think it's a matter of, sometimes you just kind of slog your way through the regular season, and obviously the Oilers fans know what that's like. And then it all kind of comes together. They all kind of come together. The injuries come in, and basically, to me, everyone's slotted in the right spot there. And John Tortorella, give him credit. I'm not a huge John Tortorella fan, but give him credit. He's staying out of the way, and I think that's maybe when you look at Bruce Cassidy, and he admitted this. He goes, maybe I try to overcoach these guys. They're a veteran team. They're veteran guys. And Tortorella just went and said, you guys figure it out. I'll stay out of the way. I'll come up with the lines. And you can see that he's having success by letting those basically veteran guys run the room.
Yeah, good for Bruce if he admits it and say, you know what, hey, what did I learn? What do I got to do different? That's always a factor for certain. Gary Bettman hinted that, hey, you know what, I can't do it forever. So my question to you is, how many more years do you think for the Count as the commissioner of the NHL?
Oh, that's a good question. I think as long as the owners are happy, and that's the thing about everyone's the commissioner's job is to try and keep 32 billionaires happy, and you can't do it all the time. Obviously, that's not going to happen. And I think for the most part, he's done a good job of that. Like you got to kind of it's kind of like herding cats a little bit with these billionaires. They all want their different things. They all have their different ideas, and you got to try and bring them all together. Now, it's a tough job. It's a job, like it's a thankless job. He's obviously public enemy number one in a lot of places he goes. But I just think, he's got 3, 4. I guess he's got as long as he wants, basically. No one's rushing him out. There isn't a movement to get him out of there. I think for the most part, all the owners are happy with the job he's been doing. And as long as they're happy, as long as you keep them happy, you're going to be able to keep in that position. So it's up to him, basically, how once he wants to go, how much this takes out of him, how much this takes away from his family and things like that. But, you look at the league and you look how strong the league is now, and you look at how well it's doing. And, they got out of Arizona, probably, they were able to move to Utah, where they have great ownership in Utah now. Now that's another really strong franchise. And so you look at around the league and how well things are going. There's really not a lot of struggling franchises like there were, 5-10 years ago, where you're wondering, oh man, are these guys going to survive? Are they going to be able to make ends meet? But I think right now the league is as strong as it's ever been.
See, I think Gary has 2 years max, maybe 1. And because we are going to start to see, Derek, and it's going to be slowly, but you're going to start to see, with the salary cap going up as much as it is here in a 2-year span, there's going to become more haves and have-nots, because there are some teams, while they're not struggling, they just can't spend as much as some of the top teams. That's just going to be a fact, right? Because
I agree.
What you can charge for tickets in Edmonton. Like, Edmonton's one of the highest ticket places in the country and in the league. And so that's beneficial, and it keeps your team competitive by doing so. But if suddenly they don't become competitive and the owner doesn't spend the money, well, guess what? Now your ticket prices come down. Now you're not making as much money, and now your team's not going to be as competitive. That's just a fact. And I won't be surprised if Gary's like, okay, you know what? I did a great job. It's been pretty competitive, but now we're starting to see some imbalance. I'm out.
Yeah, it's possible. And someone comes in with different ideas or new ideas. But yeah, to me, it's just about keeping the owners happy. Like, they are the bosses. They're running the show, and it's just a matter of kind of, and sometimes you got to just understand an owner why we have to do things this way as opposed to this way, because they're all coming in here with their own ideas, especially the ones that have just kind of jumped into the game and said, hey, we should do it like this. And then you got to kind of bring it all back together. So yeah, you might be right. You might be, once the separation starts to show, then maybe you said, okay, it's time for someone else to carry the ball here.
Now, DVD, I know you're a huge soccer guy. Were you at the game last night?
Yes, I was. I froze my tail off, but I had a great time. It was an interesting game. Yes, I was there. I took my dad. I took my nephew. It's been a while since I bought a ticket to a soccer game. Actually, I don't work I'm not the soccer reporter anymore. I'm strictly NHL. But yeah, still following this team. Still hope they do well. And yeah, I was there last night. Saw one of your buddies, Brad Hartford. I played soccer with him when I was younger. He said to say hi if I was on your show. Yeah, we call him Sugar.
His chin fit in the that's unreal. No, Shug's great. Did you?
Yeah, Sugar.
That's his own self-proclaimed nickname. That's my favorite part of Shug. He just gave himself.
Wow, well, we used to call him that because he was so sweet on the soccer field. I think that's why we called him Sugar. So I've known him for 25, 30. We played together when 15 years old. Oh yeah. So great guy.
When you look at Canada, you look at everything now, because the World Cup is right upon us now. It's close. You see the injuries that Canada has, and hopefully Alphonso Davies is only going to miss the one game. But it is if there was one game to miss, it might be the best game. Like, you should be able to win even without him. But how confident are you that Canada can get at least through to the elimination round?
Well, it's going to come down to, obviously, I think they beat Qatar. If they don't beat Qatar, they don't deserve to get through. So they got to beat Qatar. But it's going to come down to that game against Bosnia, and I think that's going to be a big game for Canada. They're playing at home. That's going to be a pro-Canadian crowd now, because that was a game that could have been Italy, and then that would have been really. I was pulling for Italy because I wanted to see that. I thought it would have been a fantastic heritage moment for Canada to play Italy in Toronto. But now it's Bosnia, so Bosnia-Herzegovina. They got to go in there. They got to win that game, or at least got to get out of there with a draw. They can't lose that game. They always say in the World Cup, you can get away with not winning your first game, but it's really, really tough to overcome a loss in your first game. And we've seen it all throughout these tournaments in the past. So they can get out of that game and come out there without a loss. I think they can beat Switzerland. I think they can beat Qatar. I think they can get through. But you're right. Injuries are going to be a big factor. There's a lot of guys that are coming in here banged up. They lost Marcelo Flores, which is heartbreaking. Got named to the team. Played a game in Mexico. It was a championship, CONCACAF Champions League final. tore up his knee on his own. He was making a move and he slipped and he tore his ACL. Heartbreaking stuff the day after you get named to the World Cup team. You're going to play in the World Cup. So they're going to have to find a replacement for him. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I thought Canada in the second half looked good. They came in. They used a lot of players. They're still trying to make some decisions here. But they're going to have to make them quick because they only have one more game, the game against Ireland and Montreal, to kind of get it all together. And then, June 12th, first game of the World Cup. It's coming. It's right on top of us.
Sorry, what's the rule on when they have to fill that roster spot?
I think before the first game. So they got some time to fill that spot. Yeah. So if a player gets hurt, they name the roster, but if a player gets hurt, you got up to the opening game just before the opening game to replace that player.
Okay. Awesome. DVD, great stuff, buddy. We appreciate it. Who are you picking in the Stanley Cup final?
I like Vegas. I just like him because I've seen him more since I was doing the western half of this thing. I like Vegas just the way they're rolling right now. It's going to take something special. And Carolina's a very good team. But I just like the way they're so strong up the middle, so strong in the back end, and the way Carter Hart's playing right now. They seem to be just rolling at the right time, and that experience I think gets them through and they win the cup.
Awesome. Thanks, DVD. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on, Jason.
There you go. That's Derek Van Deest. Quick break. We'll come back, wrap things up on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction. That's who. What about the street lighting? Yep. All-Star Construction. And directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. And yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Day or night, tasting just the right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shacopedic memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload the pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Lux Windows was founded in 1969 with 5 people and a dream. 55 years later, our team of experts cares a whole lot about building and installing the best possible windows and doors. Because Lux is not just an Alberta-made product. We're one big Alberta-made family. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Air conditioning from Legacy Heating and Cooling is like a country love song because you always know exactly what you're getting. Cause girl, you're hotter than Tennessee, cooler than Legacy's AC, blowing that southern breeze over me. Wheat fields, cold beer, pickup trucks, John Deere. You see, Legacy is that predictable because Legacy always has AC in stock and will install it faster than a truck burning down a back road. Plus, no interest and no payments for 1 year. That's how you lasso your Legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Only Crave has your favorite summer obsession, Love Island USA. The reality sensation is back.
Hello, Islanders.
And so is irresistible host Ariana Maddox.
Here's to a great summer of love.
Sexy singles, jaw-dropping drama. Who's ready to play? Love Island USA. The new season streams June 2nd. Only on Crave. Subscribe now at crave.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
541, welcome back. Aiden Hill? No, kidding. Carter Hart, of course, starting in goal tonight with Freddie Anderson for Vegas and Carolina as they make their way onto the ice for the warm-up in tonight's Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final 2026. Vegas will look to win their second in 4 years. Carolina is looking to win their first since 2006. So we'll see what happens. Should be a hell of a series. Should be at very least, I would say it's going to be highly competitive. I don't know if I can go as far as saying it's going to be overly, edge of your seat entertaining, simply because these two teams, neither one give up a lot. So we'll have to find out a way for them to generate some offense on both sides. So we got lots and lots of texts coming in. We'll get to all of those. I would say right now, if I do just a rough guess, I was adding up the numbers. We got a lot of votes coming in. We're about 68%, close to 70 maybe, people favoring Carolina over Vegas. And in 6 games seems to be the most common number. So we'll find out what happens for the Hurricanes and the Vegas Golden. Imagine if you're Carolina, you win the Cup on the road in Game 6 in Vegas. Be a fun place. I might be saying, "Hey Tom, we're not flying home." Although usually they fly back later in the night. But would you? I might want to just book a big suite and have a little bit of fun. How many guys go to bed after you win the Stanley Cup? That's what I've learned. It's you get a real surge of energy. And rightfully so, man. That's something you wait your whole life for, and a lot of people never get it. And even those who do get it, sometimes it's only one time. So you better live it up and enjoy it while you can, whether it's alcohol, non-alcohol, whatever. You just you know what, you're living on it. You are on such an emotional high for a long, long time. Let's get to 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change, no overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Cam, of course, has cerebral palsy. Born with it. He's in wheelchairs. Never let him slow him down. He's always wanted to be on radio. And now Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
SCF. You know what that means right there, Gregor. Connor Halley, Donnie P. Anybody? SCF. Anyone. Stanley Cup Final. There it is. Or, as my great friend Jim Taylor said, and wrote because Jim filed things in his brain like a courthouse with hair. Stanley Cup finally. Stanley Cup finally? Good. We took the scenic route. Nobody needed a flare. Yes. Now, 2 days before Game 1. Carolina Hurricanes coach Rod Brind'Amour. The pressure is loud. Big, big, big loud. The kind of pressure where your oatmeal has a pre-game skate. Yes, yes. So what's Rod doing Sunday afternoon? Video? Special teams? Leadership group? Pre-scout? Sitting in a bunker with 14 laptops and a cold sandwich, trying to crack the Vegas Golden Knights like a safe full of angry bees? Nope. Nope. Rod Brind'Amour is at minor hockey practice. His son Brooks practice. Whistle around the neck, skates on the ice. Kids flying around like laundry in a windstorm. Stanley Cup Final tonight. And he's telling somebody's little left winger to keep his stick down and stop treating the blue line like a substitute teacher. That's coaching. That's parenting. That's Sunday. Media Day comes along and somebody asks him about it. Sure, it's not exactly how do you handle the neutral zone forecheck. It's more, how do you stay a normal human when your schedule is wearing a hockey helmet and breathing fire? Rod could have gone full coach speak. Pucks deep, our game, details, real beige soup. He didn't. He answered like a dad. Warm, honest, right there. And with every marble on the table, even that cloudy green one from 1978, he reminded us what matters. Family. Showing up. Being the face your kid sees when he looks over. That's not a distraction. That's the map. Hey, speaking of showing up, your organ donor card, is it signed? Check it. Talk about it at dinner. Yes, yes, yes. 2-minute warning, Gregor. Benny's dad, Mark's son. Oh my goodness gracious, Donnie P. This is Cam Tate. Sports 1440.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Hey, sign your donor card. Smart. Can enjoy it. It's great. Rod, Brindamore, obviously, I think enjoying it. He's won a Stanley Cup, but would love to see him win. That organization. They would be very good for a long time, and then they could get to the third round, and they couldn't win to save their life for the third round, and now they're through. And Vegas, same thing. John Tortorella hasn't won a Stanley Cup since 2004. It's a long time. I have to double check, Cons, but I think if he does win, that'll be the longest stretch between Stanley Cup wins for a head coach in NHL history. Although, I thought we might have to double check, but I thought maybe back in the 60s, coach who hadn't came back out of retirement, but maybe my memory's off on that, so I'll have to double check that. But either way, 22 years, a long time between Stanley Cups. Hey, Gregor, would you take on Thatcher Demko if part of the bigger deal and they take Jari? Canucks, damn cold arena. That can be a problem with injuries for some. He's usually elite when he's on. He's just playing out on LTR when not on. Savoy and Jari for Demko. DeBrusk re-sign Ingram and use of the prospect if Demko is out. Well, Demko and DeBrusk combined make way more than Jari and Savoy. Right? You're talking $7 million difference. So that the money's just not going to work out for that. I don't know. Like Demko, to me, is he better? Yes. Is he more injury prone? Yes. I'm just not sure it's worth the risk. I really don't. You're getting a goalie who's $8.5 million, who might not play. Right? Like I look at Thatcher Demko and I'm like, I don't want a question mark. When he plays, he's not a question mark. The problem is when he plays, right? Like look at his games played. Last year, 20. The year before, 23. He's only played 43 games the last 2 years. I don't think there's any way. And then when the Canucks did make the playoffs, he wasn't there, right, in 2024. So zero chance for me that if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, I'm going after Thatcher Demko. That to me is just an injury problem waiting to go on LTIR. So not an option for me. Cons, where are you on Demko?
Geez, you're like best case scenario. Yeah, you're getting a really good goalie, but I just think his history with the injuries, the cost it would take to acquire, I don't know if it's worth the risk at this point. Like there was so much discussion like last year. Oh, when's he going to come back? When's it going to be the return from injury? I just don't know if at this point, with all that's on the line, how comfortable I would be with him and putting my season's hopes on him.
Yeah.
If he's healthy, it's going to pay off, but that's a risk.
It's a massive risk, man. Like there's no way I would do it. And like, if I'm trading Matt Savoy, he's a young player with speed. And I know everyone's like, yeah, but he didn't do anything in it's his first playoffs. It's way, way too early. I just think the potential of Matt Savoy on what he can be moving forward, I think is I like it a lot. I really do. You always have to remember, like, look at from his draft class, who's really emerged? Slavkovsky, right? Logan Cooley. And those guys were taken ahead of him. Cutter Gauthier. Sure. After that, like, is Marco Kasper that much better? Right? Connor Geekie, Frank Nazar, McGroarty. Like, look at all the other forwards taken around him. I would remain patient with a guy like Matt Savoy. I think there's lots of good that can come from where he's going, and it's no different than Ike Howard. I wrote about Ike Howard earlier this week, and everyone's like, "Oh, you know what? Whatever." He's not. I'm like 24 goals in 47 games. You also know who had 24 goals in 47 games? Logan Stankoven a few years ago. He did it in 2023. And I'm not guaranteeing that Howard's going to be Stankoven at all, but it's hard to score that many goals and be at like a above half a game goal per game player in the America. And it wasn't like there was a boatload of high-end offensive skill with him. He wasn't like just feasting on the power play. Ike Howard played pretty well, man. And he had to go up and down at times. So, hey, Gregor, would you do Jari for Demko straight up? No. Demko's got 3 years to 2 of Jari. He makes $3 million more. $3.15 million more. Is his top-end game better? Without question. But his injury game is infinitely better, too. And I wouldn't do it. You're going in a span of a calendar year, you would went from your starting goalie making 2.6 to your starting goalie making 8.5, and now you have a starting goalie who can't even play 45 games in 2 years. No chance, right? Like I would need to see Thatcher Demko play a whole year and be healthy, and then I'd consider it. Because until he shows that, he's going to be a guy who comes with way too much concerns about injuries. It's not worth the risk. Like the Edmonton, the last thing they need to do, and I said it 2 days after the season started, do not panic. Stan Bowman can't panic. They can't. I thought they panicked on the Stuart Skinner trade. And I said at Cons the day the trade happened, I was like, I don't love that trade. Because A, you added a goalie making twice as much for 2 more years, who I wasn't sold was better. And then you threw in Kulak in a second. So do not panic if you're Stan Bowman. Make smart, well thought out moves. On behalf of Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves a wonderful Tuesday. Enjoy the Stanley Cup Final. Hey, Jays and the Braves will have a Toronto baseball right here after a Sports 1440 update. It is tied 2-2 in Atlanta between the Braves and the Jays. And that game will be live right here after Connor Halley Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. HireGood.ca. Stable jobs create stable lives.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final, about 15 minutes away out in Raleigh, North Carolina. Canes and Knights in this one. Off the ice today, Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Werenski named as the Norris Trophy winner after a 22-goal season with 59 helpers. Oilers defenseman Evan Bouchard finishing 4th in the voting. Nashville Predators confirming the hiring of former Avs GM Chris McFarland. He'll be the GM and president of hockey operations. In Colorado, Joe Sakic going back to the GM duties for the foreseeable future. And the NHL confirming a new format for the 2027 All-Star Game on Long Island. As the annual event will consist of 5 teams, Canada, Finland, U.S., and Sweden, with 1 world team competing in the 3-on-3 round-robin exhibition tournament. Major League Baseball, Jays and Braves tied at 2 in the bottom of the third. We'll join that game in progress on our AM feed immediately following the upcoming commercial break. Elsewhere, Tigers lead the Rays 5-0 in the fourth. Padres and Phillies tied at 2. Red Sox at home trail the Orioles 4-1. And the Yankees up on the Guardians 2-1 in the bottom of the third. Later tonight, you got the Cubs and the Athletics, Pirates, Astros, Angels take on the Rockies, Diamondbacks get the Dodgers, and the Mariners hosting the Mets. The Riverhawks on the road tonight in Victoria, taking on the Harbor Cats. That one gets going at 7:35. And from the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons locking up wide receiver Drake London, 4 years, $141 million. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next on the AM feed, we've got Blue Jays baseball. If you're streaming, it's Fox Sports Radio. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
With Play Alberta,